Chapter 21. A few days later, in a forest. The 4 of Sasuke's Class 7 members carefully hid behind the tree. Kakashi, as the captain, is directing several people with a radio device. Hey, Naruto, be careful, the target seems to be heading towards you. Don't worry, Mr. Kakashi, I won't let it escape this time. Naruto held his breath and whispered. Suddenly, a black shadow jumped out of the forest and quickly approached him. Naruto, it's coming, little Sakura reminded her as she carefully sensed her surroundings. The moment the black shadow approached, several Narutos jumped out from behind the trees and rushed towards them in a swarm. Woof, woof woof, a large snow-white dog bared its fangs and growled a warning at Naruto. Humph, you stinky dog, you can't run away this time. Naruto ignored it and rushed forward to hold it down. Suddenly, sharp canine teeth flashed across, and a shadow clone disappeared with a bang. The sharp claws left scars on Naruto's body. HMPH, be quiet. Naruto punched the dog hard on the head. Ouch. The big snow-white dog screamed, foamed at the mouth and fainted. Hey, Naruto, you struck too hard. How can you explain to your client if you kill him? Little Sakura came over and said with a frown. Don't worry, little Sakura, this dog has summoning beast blood, so it won't die that easily. And I'm very measured in my actions, Naruto said with a grin. Well done Naruto, mission accomplished. Kakashi stepped forward, took out the scroll and took a look. Well, the reward for this D-level mission is 30,000 taels, which is not bad. Yoshi, 30,000 taels, I can get a lot. Hey, I want to go to Ichiraku Ramen for a big meal. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura-chan, do you want to come with us? Let me tell you, Ichiraku's ramen is very delicious. Naruto looked excited. Every time he completes a task, he gets a share of the reward. Although, 3rd Hokage used to give him some living expenses every month. But too little. It takes a long time for him to go to Ichiraku Ramen. After becoming a Jonin, you can visit more often. While Naruto was chattering, the big snow-white dog suddenly woke up from his coma and opened his eyes. Woof! It took a sharp bite and bit Naruto's ass. Ah, it hurts me so much, little Sakura, please help me get it off. Naruto jumped up holding his buttocks, tears almost coming out. Sasuke scratched his head, looking helpless. Oh, it's so boring. No wonder the original commander's assistant's strength improves so slowly. Fortunately, he is just a shadow clone and does not delay his own cultivation. I said Kakashi, can't we just let Naruto complete such a simple task? Sasuke said, you Jonin, there's no need to come along. No, Sasuke, these are Konoha village rules. Besides, I am the captain of Class 7 and I must ensure your safety. Kakashi shook his head and pointed at Naruto. A reckless guy like him might get into trouble if I'm not around. Forehead. It seems, makes sense. Sasuke was speechless for a moment. A few days later, by a small lake. Sasuke, why did you ask me out alone? Kakashi yawned. Today, it's rare that I don't have to do any tasks and can have a day off. Sasuke was speechless. In normal tasks, you are always fishing. Kakashi, I want to learn Chidori from you. Sasuke got straight to the point. Once he learns the Chidori, he can develop various derivative ninjutsu. In a short period of time, the strength can be improved a lot. Oh, Chidori, also known as Reikiri, is a ninjutsu with an S level of difficulty. Sasuke, although you are a genius, you are not that easy to learn. Let's wait for a while until your chakra control is further advanced. Kakashi waved his hand and turned to leave. In exchange, I will tell you, Sharingan's secret. What? Kakashi was startled and turned around sharply. Sasuke, are you serious? The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. Of course, even though you are called a copy ninja, you still can't control Sharingan freely. That's why you use a forehead protector to cover Sharingan, right? Kakashi pondered slightly. Although he got the Sharingan from Obito, he is not a member of the Uchiha tribe and cannot take the initiative to close the Sharingan. As a result, he was consuming chakra every moment. In every battle, the amount of chakra must be accurately calculated. If you get Sharingan's cultivation experience, you might be able to change this situation. Okay, it's a deal, I'll teach you. But Sasuke, Reikiri is a lightning-style ninjutsu. It cannot be used without the thunder attribute chakra. Don't worry, I've already tested it. Sasuke interrupted, holding up 2 fingers. The chakra test paper is sandwiched, and it is full of wrinkles. Well, communicating with geniuses is really easy. Kakashi scratched his head. Okay, let me briefly explain this trick first. Chidori is a lightning-style ninjutsu developed by me, which combines chakra's nature transformation and form change. Sasuke, chakra nature transformation is when refining chakra, injecting its own corresponding attributes into it, and getting additional effects. It is nature transformation, right, Kakashi? Sasuke interrupted him. There is no need to teach me this simple common sense. Let's focus on the key points. Okay. Reikiri, the caster uses chakra nature transformation to form a high-intensity electric current concentrated on the hand, and then penetrates the target with the thrust speed. Because the sound of thunder and lightning is like the hoofbeat of 1,000 birds, it is named Chidori. However, I also used this technique to cut off thunder and lightning when I was in Anbu, so it can also be called Reikiri. The key to this trick is how to accurately control the chakra network in the body to stimulate the corresponding acupoints and activate cells to increase the lethality. The seal of Chidori is Cho, Mao, Shen. Kakashi explained while quickly forming seals. Zizizi. Suddenly, dazzling white lightning appeared on his hand, making a sharp noise. Interesting, cutting off the thunder and lightning in the sky. Sasuke observed carefully and followed Kakashi's instructions to control the chakra in his body. Pointed for a moment, Kakashi put away his ninjutsu. Okay, Sasuke, I've told you the key points. Next, you need to practice hard. Reikiri is a secret level ninjutsu and cannot be learned in a short time. After you master it, don't forget to promise me. Kakashi stretched and prepared to leave. Yeah. Zizizi. Suddenly, the sharp sound of birdsong came from behind. What? Kakashi turned his head and his eyes widened for a moment. A ball of blue and white lightning also appeared in Sasuke's hand. How could he learn Reikiri so quickly? Kakashi looked at this scene in shock and disbelief. He was also called a genius, but compared to Sasuke, he was instantly turned into a scumbag. However, Sasuke only lasted 5 or 6 seconds before the Chidori dissipated. Fortunately, I haven't mastered it yet. Kakashi felt a little more balanced. But then I thought about it, and realized that the ninjutsu that I had worked so hard to create was quickly learned by Sasuke. The mood is still a bit complicated. Sasuke, you have mastered this move initially. However, I remind you that Reikiri consumes a lot of chakra and can only be used at critical moments. Otherwise, excessive consumption of chakra will be life-threatening. Sasuke nodded. In fact, with the help of heaven-defying comprehension, he has already mastered the Chidori. He even had various inspirations for Chidori-derived ninjutsu in his mind. Of course, considering various factors, Sasuke hid his secret. First, I was afraid that Kakashi would have a mental breakdown on the spot. Secondly, his heaven-defying understanding is too exaggerated. Even if the trees are beautiful in the forest, the wind will destroy them. As an orphan of the Uchiha clan, he has exposed his heaven-defying talent and is afraid of being targeted by Danzo and other Konoha senior officials. After all, the hatred of genocide is as deep as the sea. However, what he revealed now shocked Kakashi. Well, I have to maintain my genius personality, otherwise, my strength will improve too fast and cannot be explained. Sasuke thought to himself. Sasuke, Reikiri needs to be used in conjunction with Sharingan. Now, Kakashi was a little curious whether Sasuke had opened his eyes. Even among the Uchiha clan, not everyone can make Sharingan open his eyes. The next second Sasuke looked up and 2 Tomo Sharingan appeared. Don't worry, Kakashi, I have awakened my discerning eye, no problem. Penetrating eye. Kakashi was a little confused. It's the Uchiha clan's collective name for Sharingan's ability at a certain stage. As agreed, I will tell you Sharingan's secret. Sasuke said seriously. Here we come. Kakashi perked up after hearing this. The Uchiha clan is said to be the descendant of Sage of Six Paths. What? Sage of Six Paths? Is it the legendary ancestor of the ninja world, Sage of Six Paths? Sasuke's first words left Kakashi in disbelief. Of course, this is just a family rumor, and I don't know its authenticity. Sasuke said deliberately. In short, Sharingan is a blood inheritance limit that has been passed down for a long time. Sharingan requires a certain amount of stimulation to open. Most of the Uchiha people are very emotional. Once they are subject to violent emotional fluctuations and lose love in their hearts, special chakra will emerge in the brain and act on the optic nerve, causing changes in the eyes, commonly known as eye-opening. So that's it, love gives rise to hate. Kakashi touched his chin, thinking. After Sharingan is turned on, you can start with 1 Magatama and gradually evolve into 2 Magatama and 3 Magatama. At the same time, powerful abilities such as observation, copying, illusions, and seeing through illusions will be awakened. Of course, this is not a panacea. I believe you have noticed it. Kakashi nodded. Sharingan cannot copy the blood successor's limited ability, right? Not only that, chakra without corresponding attributes, or some secret ninjutsu, cannot be successfully copied. After 3 Tomo Sharingan, if you receive more severe mental stimulation, a special Mangekyo Sharingan will awaken. Mangekyo Sharingan, not only will the eye power be greatly improved, but special abilities will also be awakened. Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi was startled. He originally thought that Sharingan's destination was the 3 Magatama. Suddenly, he thought of something. Sasuke, is everything Uchiha Itachi did to open the Mangekyo Sharingan? Sasuke shook his head. No, he has successfully awakened Mangekyo Sharingan before. He may have a special reason for the genocide, but it doesn't matter anymore. I can't forgive this heinous crime. Looking at Sasuke, whose breath was cold, he sighed. A figure couldn't help but appear in his mind. Obito, if you can survive until now, with your talent and experience, you should be able to awaken Mangekyo. Sasuke paused and continued. Of course, there is a price to gain power. While Mangekyo Sharingan gives powerful power, it will also devour the caster. The more you use it, the more light you will lose. Kakashi's pupils shrank. You mean, awakening Mangekyo will eventually lead to blindness? That's right, with the use of Mangekyo Sharingan, your eyesight will gradually decline and eventually be swallowed by darkness. Sasuke nodded, glancing at Kakashi. He knew that Kakashi's eyes were Mangekyo Sharingan now. But he couldn't tell it. After all, Sasuke was just a 12-year-old boy living in the village. It is impossible to know the past events of Obito and others. I don't know if Kakashi's vision has declined, but I want to give him a reminder. Mangekyo can cause vision loss. Kakashi fell into deep thought, why he always felt that his eyes. No, Obito died in the battle at Kanabi Bridge. It's impossible. Kakashi, are you so sure that Obito is dead? Deep in his heart, there was another voice. No, I saw Obito die with my own eyes. Kakashi couldn't believe it in his heart. Kakashi-sensei, are you okay? Suddenly, Sasuke's voice woke him up. Sasuke, I suddenly remembered something, so I'm going to leave first. Chidori, you've almost mastered it. Practice on your own. Kakashi said that he needed to calm down and think carefully. Then, the figure quickly disappeared. Well, that's enough. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. The following few days, Sasuke still sends a shadow clone to complete the mission with Naruto and the others. Kakashi and others also found nothing unusual. After all, Shadow Clone is an entity, and even has the same strength as the main body. And he himself is training in secret to develop various derivative ninjutsu of Chidori. Go. In the forest, several shurikens flew out. Following a tricky trajectory, Sasuke shoots down at an alarming speed. Zetsu. Sasuke stretched out his hand, and the Chidori in his palm instantly turned into a sharp long knife. Chidori's derivative ninjutsu, Chidori Sharp Spear. Swish, swish, swish. Sasuke slashed several times. The sharp Chidori spear split all the incoming shurikens in two and dropped them to the ground. He waved his hand again, and the Chidori spear turned into a large number of sharp white needles and flew out. Chidori's derivative ninjutsu, Chidori Senbon. Ding ding ding. Many targets on the big trees in front were instantly penetrated by Chidori Chiban. Zizizi. Suddenly, a large amount of thunder and lightning erupted from Sasuke's body, instantly bombarding many wooden targets around him. Boom. Powerful lightning-style ninjutsu, destroying a large number of targets. The surrounding trees also collapsed and turned into ashes. Chidori-derived ninjutsu, Chidori style. Very good, I have mastered all the Chidori-derived ninjutsu. Sasuke smiled with satisfaction. You know, in the original work, he trained hard at Orochimaru for nearly 3 years before he completely mastered it. Now, it only took a few days. The horror of heaven-defying comprehension is visible in Amatera. It's a pity that since I've been staying in Konoha village, I haven't had the chance to absorb chakra with other attributes. Sasuke was troubled. This makes his Onamaro technique useless. After all, there was no way he could attack the ninjas of Konoha village. Although, he can control Onamaro technique to absorb the strength of chakra, preventing the target from being sucked dry and dying. But if you lose a lot of chakra in a short period of time, your vitality will definitely be greatly reduced and you will be seriously injured. He didn't want to become a rebel nin early. The next step is to develop that move. Sasuke's body was surrounded by electricity and he slowly closed his eyes. Naruto, don't you get bored by doing this kind of D-level mission all the time? Several people headed to the mission hall, Sasuke said casually. Indeed, in the past few days, Teacher Kakashi has taught us how to climb trees and tread water. But there is no sense of accomplishment at all in completing such low-level tasks. Yoshi, I've decided. Naruto rolled up his sleeves and ran forward excitedly. Okay, Kakashi, here's your reward for today's mission. Sarutobi Hiruzen handed over some money. Next, your 7th team's task is, well, to help the client collect sweet potatoes. Hey, wait, Grandpa Hokage, don't always give us Team 7 such simple tasks. Doing this kind of task every day, my body is almost getting rusty. Give us a major mission, preferably an A-level mission. Naruto rushed to Sarutobi Hiruzen and shouted. A-level mission. Naruto, is this guy crazy? Beside, little Sakura suddenly had black lines on her head. Kakashi was also a little embarrassed and pulled Naruto over. Hokage-sama, I'm so sorry. Naruto, didn't you listen to what I told you about comparing mission levels with ninjas? I'll say it again, you newbies, genin, can only complete D and C level missions at most. A-level missions are too dangerous for you. Naruto crossed his arms over his chest. I'm too lazy to remember such tedious things. Anyway, hurry up and arrange a high-level task for us. Sarutobi Hiruzen pondered slightly. Originally, he wanted to use feelings as a bond to tightly lock Naruto, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, with him. Moreover, in order to better control Naruto and let him serve Konoha, he was also deliberately arranged to be under Kakashi's sect. With Kakashi's strength, some ordinary tasks should be able to ensure that Naruto doesn't have any accidents. Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed slightly as he thought of this. Naruto, I understand. In that case, I will assign you an important task. Well, C-level mission, to protect someone. Upon hearing this, Naruto instantly perked up. Really, Grandpa Hokage, who is it? Is it the daimyo of the Fire Country? Or is it the princess? Naruto asked quickly, a smile on his face. Naruto, you are still the same, too impatient. Okay, please come in. Sarutobi Hiruzen finished speaking. The mission room door opens. A drunken man walked in with a bottle in his hand, wearing glasses. What are you doing? The ones who took over my mission turned out to be a few brats. Especially that short winter melon. He looks so stupid. Can he also be a ninja? He took a sip of wine and couldn't help but complain. Dwarf winter melon, who is it? Naruto didn't know why, but at this moment, Sasuke and Sakura came closer. The height difference between the three of them is obvious at a glance. Asshole, I'm going to kill you. Naruto was furious, and he realized that it was him that the drunkard was scolding. Forget it, Naruto, he is the client we want to protect. Kakashi reached out and grabbed him. Well, let me introduce myself. I am the famous bridge builder, Danas. The mission of you guys is to risk your lives to protect me from returning home until the bridge is built, right? Danas looked at Kakashi. Mr. Danas, please get ready. We will set off in the afternoon. Kakashi nodded. Sasuke on the side also raised the corners of his mouth slightly. Several people finished lunch, after packing your luggage. Soon we gathered at the gate of Konoha village. Great, it's time to leave the village, let's go. Naruto shouted excitedly while carrying a large bag. Are you trustworthy? This pineapple-headed kid is always yelling. Danas took a puff of dry cigarette and said worriedly. Old man, I'm not called a brat, remember, I'm Uzumaki Naruto and I'm going to be a Hokage one day. Naruto shouted angrily at him. Hokage, impossible for a brat like you. Danas shook his head. Don't worry, after all, Jonin, will keep you safe. Kakashi said, okay, let's go. So a few people packed up their luggage and set off. Leave Konoha and head to the country of waves. Several people were walking in the forest. Along the way, Naruto looked here and there, looking very excited. Hey, Naruto, why are you always dangling around? Be careful. Seeing this, little Sakura shouted to Naruto. Hey, Sakura-chan, because this is my first time out of the village. In the past, Grandpa third generation always asked Anbu's ninjas to follow me and not let me leave Konoha village. Kakashi glanced at Naruto, as Hokage-sama worried about Nine Tails. He knew very well that every tailed beast was an important property of each shinobi village. Hokage probably did this because he didn't want Nine Tails Jinchuriki to fall into the hands of other villages. But in this case, Naruto felt a bit pitiful. It's like being imprisoned in Konoha village. By the way, Mr. Kakashi, what is the country of waves like? Little Sakura on the side was a little curious. Yes, I haven't heard of the country of waves either. Naruto also came closer and looked at Kakashi with a curious expression on his face. Okay, let me explain. Sasuke, all three of you, listen up. The entire ninja world is led by the 5 major nations, namely the Land of Fire. So Kakashi patiently explained to them. The 5 major countries, the 5 major ninja villages and many other small countries were briefly introduced. Of course, Sasuke already knew these things. In the Land of Waves, there is no ninja village. There should be no ninjas who will conflict with us. At most, we will encounter thieves and the like. That's right, Mr. Danas. Kakashi turned his head and looked at the silent client. Well, that's how it should be. Danas answered with some guilt as sweat broke out on his forehead. Kakashi frowned slightly. We walked along the road for half a day. Several people passed by a small puddle. Kakashi glanced at him and walked forward as if nothing had happened. Suddenly, 2 figures rushed out of the puddle. They wore masks to cover their faces, and the claws of their ninja tools were wrapped with sharp iron chains. The 2 raised their hands, and the sharp chains quickly wrapped around Kakashi. Ha, you're the first. The next second, the 2 of them exerted great force, and Kakashi's body instantly shattered into several pieces. What's going on? There are enemies. Naruto and little Sakura were shocked. This scene happened so fast that they didn't even react. The 2 mist ninjas didn't waste any time and continued to kill Naruto. Kid, you're the second one. The 2 showed murderous intent, leaving Naruto stunned for a moment. Phew, just then, Sasuke took action. He flicked his hands and several shurikens flew out. He accurately shot the chain and nailed it to the big tree nearby. Immediately afterwards, a kunai flew out, clasped tightly with the shuriken, and hit 3 points. The 2 mist ninjas tried their best, but were shocked to find that they couldn't pull it out at all. Sasuke's figure flashed and appeared beside the 2 of them. Kick out with both feet at the same time, instantly kicking them away. The 2 fell to the ground, and when they were about to get up, they suddenly noticed a black shadow falling from the sky. Lion combo. Boom. Sasuke came down from above and slammed a person's head into the hard ground with a fierce kick. Upon seeing this, the other mist ninja immediately abandoned the chain and rushed towards Danas. Get away, kid. The ninja slapped Naruto away with one claw. Not good. Their goal is, Grandpa, back off. Little Sakura was startled and held a kunai in front of him. Sasuke reached for his ninja bag and was about to kill him with shuriken. Suddenly, a figure appeared and knocked the mist ninja unconscious with a blow from his hand. It's Kakashi. Kakashi, I thought you were going to keep pretending to be dead. Sasuke pouted and put away his shuriken. Teacher Kakashi, it turns out you are not dead. Little Sakura and Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it seems that everything is fine. Danas also breathed a long sigh of relief. It turns out to be body replacement technique. Several people turned around and saw that Kakashi's broken body had been turned into several pieces of wood. Haha, I just want to see your performance. Sasuke, you are quite capable. Just knock down the enemy. Little Sakura is not bad. Naruto, you have to work harder. Kakashi then tied the two men and woke them up. You, ninja of Konoha, how on earth did you discover us? The two mist ninjas were puzzled. They were very good at camouflage. Many enemies were quickly assassinated by them before they could react. HMPH, how can there be puddles on the roadside in such a sunny weather? Sasuke said coldly, this little trick is just for deceiving ordinary ninjas. Since you noticed it, why didn't you take action? Kurikage Ninja was confused. Of course, I want to see who your target is. Kakashi smiled. Fortunately, I'm not here for Naruto. If Kurigake officially took action against Nine Tails, he would probably be too exhausted to deal with it on his own. Mr. Danas, please explain why they attacked you. A situation like this involving ninja assassination should at least be classified as a high-priced B-level or higher mission. It's just a reward for a C-level mission, which is a bit overwhelming. Danas was silent. On the other side, there is a stronghold in the Kingdom of Waves. HMPH, the assassination mission failed, right? I told you a long time ago that Konoha's ninjas are not so easy to deal with. Momochi Zabuza, who was holding a machete and with a bandage on his head, sneered. Damn it, that guy Danas, how can he have the money to hire such a powerful ninja? Cardo took off his sunglasses and looked fierce. Mr. Zabuza, I'll trouble you this time. Kado looked at Zabuza with a flattering smile. Don't worry, if I take action, he won't be able to escape. However, the commission for hiring me is not cheap. This, of course. Kaduo rubbed his hands and winked at his subordinates. Mr. Zabuza, as long as you can kill that guy, money is not an issue. Cardo took the box and handed it over respectfully. Very good, I won't disappoint you. Just wait for news from me. Zabuza smiled. He then disappeared from the stronghold with the money. Kakashi frowned and looked at Danas, who was silent. Mr. Danas, Konoha village has rules. If you don't want to tell us, then we have no choice but to abandon the mission. Upon hearing this, Danas sighed helplessly. Well, let me say, actually, there's a scary guy who wants to kill me. Scary guy. Kakashi realized that things were not simple. Well, you have heard of Cardo's name, right? What, it's him. Kakashi was surprised. This guy is in charge of many maritime trades and is a well-known tycoon in the ninja world. Yes, but you should know that he is a complete bastard who does all kinds of evil. In the past, he often colluded with villains and ninjas, embezzled various companies, and even controlled the country. About a year ago, Cardo set his sights on the maritime trade of the country of Waves. Relying on his huge financial resources, he quickly controlled the maritime trade and transportation of the country of Waves. For a small island country like the country of Waves, this is tantamount to controlling the economic lifeline, and he also uses this to charge high transportation fees. So the bridge that was under construction became a thorn in his side. Danas recounted it in detail. Kakashi and others also understood the cause and effect. Mr. Danas, why didn't you say something like this when you delegated the task? Because I can't afford the high cost of B-level missions, Cardo's raging, and the country of Waves is a small country. Suddenly, his words changed. Of course, everyone in Konoha, don't worry about me, just follow the C-level mission. Even if I die, you don't have to take it to heart. Except for my 10-year-old grandson who will cry to death and the residents of the land of Waves who are looking forward to the completion of the bridge, no one will care, haha. Sasuke and the others were speechless. Playing the emotional card. So thick-skinned. Sasuke, what do you say? Kakashi turned to ask. With his strength, he was not worried that Cardo could pose a threat to him. Moreover, maybe this time is an opportunity for experience. HMPH, Sasuke and Kakashi-sensei have been in the limelight this time, how can we just back down? Of course, continue the mission. Naruto rolled up his sleeves and shouted. Little Sakura also nodded, secretly saying that with Mr. Kakashi here, there would definitely be no danger. Then let's go. Sasuke also looked unconcerned. Kijin Momochi Zabuza still can't make him back down. Besides, he has important matters to go to the Kingdom of Water. Well, the mission continues, but Naruto, your wounds need to be treated. You were injured by that mist shinobi ninja just now. Kakashi pointed at Naruto's arm. Sure enough, it was dripping with blood. Don't worry, Mr. Kakashi, this little injury is not a big deal. Really, according to the bleeding speed of this wound, you will die if you stop bleeding. What? No, I haven't become a Hokage yet. Help. Naruto jumped in shock. Soon after, several people came to the beach, rented a fishing boat and followed the map to the country of waves. The sea was filled with mist and visibility was very low. After sailing for a while and approaching the destination, several people breathed a sigh of relief. Great, Danas, we haven't been found by Cardo. The fisherman breathed a sigh of relief and said with a smile. Haha, thanks to you, I was able to avoid that guy's eyes and ears by taking the secret passage on the sea. The people from Konoha will be arriving at the land of waves soon. I'll trouble you all along the way. Danas thanked Sasuke and others seriously. I said, don't take things too simply. Do you think Cardo will give up? Sasuke interrupted. He knew very well that Zabuza would arrive soon. When the time comes, they will be greeted by a fierce battle. Yes, Mr. Danas, Sasuke is right, don't take it lightly. Kakashi nodded. At this time, several people passed through a tunnel, and the front suddenly became clear. Wow, it's so beautiful. I didn't expect there to be so many water islands here. Little Sakura sighed. In the fog ahead, the outlines of a large number of islands emerged. There are lush green woods growing on it. At first glance, there is a sense of vitality. Soon, the fishing boat docked. Danas, I'm leaving first, please be careful. The fisherman said goodbye to them and quickly punted away. Okay, everyone, I'd like to ask you to send me home safely. Danas smiled and led a few people forward. Okay, got it. Kakashi said weakly. I hope nothing goes wrong on the last stretch of the road. If another ninja comes, it might be Jonin. He sighed inwardly. For the C-rank mission reward, I faced off against Jonin. How silly. Forget it, just think of it as training for the little guys. Kakashi thought. Suddenly, his eyes turned cold and he looked towards the woods in the distance. Kakashi flicked his hand and a shuriken flew out. Suddenly, a snowshoe rabbit ran out from under the tree. What's wrong, Kakashi? Sasuke noticed something strange about him. It's nothing, maybe I felt wrong. Kakashi shook his head. It's better to complete the task as soon as possible. When the people left, Sasuke turned his head and looked back, frowning slightly. In the woods, a pair of cold eyes appeared. Interesting, it turns out to be Konoha's famous copy ninja, Hatake Kakashi. It seems that this task is quite difficult, but I like this kind of challenge. Zabuza sneered. Naruto, Sakura-chan, be careful. Sasuke suddenly reminded him. Kakashi's face tightened, he's coming. Suddenly, a large knife as wide as one person flew out from the woods and slashed at several people. Spread. Kakashi gave an order, and several people were prepared and dodged the attack. Bang! The beheading knife struck the big tree, making a muffled sound. A figure also suddenly appeared on the sword, staring at them with a fierce look. Who is it? Naruto gulped. Looking at the pale ninja with a bandage on his face and a face like a hungry ghost, his heart tightened. Oh, I didn't expect that it would be you who took action this time. Kirin, Momochi Zabuza, Ghost Man, Sakura and Naruto were shocked. Kakashi stared at him and spoke slowly. I didn't expect that the copy ninja who is famous in Konoha and has copied thousands of ninjutsu has also heard of my name. The corner of Zabuza's mouth twitched. Kakashi, I'm looking forward to fighting against you. Sakura and Sakura looked at Kakashi in surprise. Copy ninja, Kakashi-sensei, you are so powerful. Kakashi waved his hand, signaling Naruto and Sakura to step back. Naruto, the enemy this time is very difficult. You and Sakura-chan should protect Mr. Danas. Kakashi said in a low voice. Miscalculation. He didn't expect that the killer sent by Cardo this time would be Demon Zabuza. This is an elite Jonin level master. Even if he faced him, there was no guarantee that he would escape unscathed. Not to mention allowing Naruto and the others to experience it. But if it's Sasuke, he might be able to help me with his strength. Kakashi secretly said. Sasuke's heaven-defying understanding, and the strength revealed in the bell fight. I'm afraid it's getting close to Jonin. No, Mr. Kakashi, I want to go too. Naruto gritted his teeth, he had already escaped once. Naruto, don't mess around. If the opponent is him, you have no right to interfere. Kakashi said while lifting up the forehead protector. The Scarlet 3 Tomo Sharingan is revealed. Is this Sharingan? Zabuza said calmly. Honestly, I don't want to be your enemy, as long as you hand over the old man. Kakashi shook his head. As a ninja, you cannot hand over your client. This is an iron rule. On the side, Naruto and little Sakura listened in confusion. Hey, Yan Lunyan, what are you talking about? Sasuke took a step forward. Sharingan, the blood successor of the Uchiha clan, has the ability to see through genjutsu, ninjutsu and taijutsu. Of course, you can also copy ninjutsu. Sasuke's eyes are scarlet, revealing 2 Tomo Sharingan. Huh, you little brat. Are you an orphan of the Uchiha clan? I didn't expect to see the only remaining Uchiha tribe here. Zabuza showed a hint of surprise. Sasuke, your eyes, and Kakashi-sensei. Naruto was even more surprised, not expecting Sasuke to have the same eyes. Well, since you don't want to surrender, I can only defeat you myself. Zabuza's eyes flashed coldly. The figure disappeared in the big tree in an instant. Water style, mist shinobi technique. Zabuza quickly formed a seal, and suddenly, a large amount of mist filled the water, covering the surrounding area. Zabuza's figure also disappeared into the mist. Be careful, this is Mist Shinobi's assassination technique. Momochi Zabuza was already famous when he was in the Mist Shinobi assassination unit. Kakashi reminded. Yes, several people nodded and quickly surrounded Danas. HMPH, Kakashi, if it were you alone, it wouldn't be so easy for me to succeed. However, you can't stop me if you bring several oil bottles. Zabuza's voice came from the mist, with murderous intent in his tone. Naruto and Sakura-chan both held their kunai tightly, sweat beading on their foreheads. Naruto, don't be too nervous. With me here, I won't let my teammates from Team 7 die easily. Kakashi spoke firmly. He knew that this was Zabuza's plan to attack his heart. The purpose is to intimidate Naruto and the others and create a loophole. Really, that's not necessarily the case. Zabuza's faint voice suddenly came from behind Naruto and the others. Immediately afterwards, the beheading sword slashed at the 4 of them. The terrifying power set off waves of sound. If he was hit by him, it would undoubtedly be broken into several pieces. Not good. Kakashi was shocked. Unexpectedly, Zabuza silently touched behind several people. Clang. The sound of gold and iron colliding sounded. Sasuke held a kunai and blocked the sword. What? This kid. Zabuza's eyes widened, and when he used the decapitating sword to match his strength, he was actually blocked by a kunai. The Uchiha clan is indeed not simple. He suddenly raised his decapitating sword, trying to split Sasuke in half. However, Kakashi is faster. He rushed in front of him in an instant, and the sharp kunai pierced his abdomen the moment he raised his hand. Awesome, is it over? Naruto and the others were overjoyed. Kakashi, watch your back. Sasuke shouted loudly. Sure enough, in the next second, Zabuza, who was stabbed, turned into a puddle of water. It's a water incarnation. Bang! The beheading sword struck Kakashi fiercely. But Kakashi also turned into water splashes and exploded. What? Is it a water incarnation? When? Zabuza was startled, but he didn't expect that in this thick fog, Kakashi could also copy ninjutsu instantly. It's over. Kakashi ducked behind him and pressed his kunai against his neck. HMPH, you are worthy of being a copy ninja, you are really capable. Zabuza praised. He actually saw through my water avatar and used the water avatar to confuse me as well. Aha! The sharp kunai cuts off Zabu's neck. However, Kakashi noticed that there was no tingling sensation of flesh and blood. Unfortunately, I am not that simple. Zabuza's faint voice came from behind Kakashi. What? A double water clone? Kakashi was startled and leaned down at the critical moment to avoid the horizontal blow of the decapitating sword. Bang! Zabuza kicked Kakashi away with a sharp kick. With a pop, Kakashi fell into the sea not far away. This guy's target at the beginning was indeed me. Kakashi climbed out of the water looking slightly embarrassed. Zabuza launched an attack on Naruto and others, obviously to attract attention and create loopholes. I understand now that it's too late. Behind Kakashi, Zabuza instantly cast his ninjutsu. Water style, water prison technique. The next moment, a round water ball directly enveloped Kakashi. Suffer it. Kakashi's heart sank. The heavy water around him made it almost impossible to move. He didn't expect that the three Zabuza on the shore were all water bodies. The main body has long been hidden under the water, waiting for an opportunity. HMPH, the water prison technique is almost impossible to break from the inside. Kakashi, just watch me and kill all your subordinates and clients. Zabuza sneered. As soon as he formed the seal, a water avatar appeared. To deal with you rookies, the water body is enough. Zabuza stared at Sasuke and the others and said softly. Kakashi was caught, and he was confident that the next few imps would not be able to stop him. Suffer death. Shui Shui stood up, holding a big knife, and rushed forward instantly. Bang! But the next second, it hit back at a faster speed. Really, your strength is nothing more than this. Sasuke raised his legs with a contemptuous smile on his face. So fast, this kid's physical skills. Zabuza was a little shocked. Although, the water avatar only has a small part of his body's strength. But being defeated so easily shows that the opponent's kid is probably close to Jonin in strength. Go! Zabuza gritted his teeth and formed a seal with one hand, and 3 more water avatars crawled out of the water. Sasuke, be careful and don't be too careless. Kakashi's voice came from the water prison. This guy Zabuza is not only very strong, but also very cunning. Although Sasuke is strong, he has no fighting experience, which makes Kakashi very worried. Sasuke raised the corners of his mouth, flicked his hands, and several shurikens shot towards Zabuza's body in strange arcs. Zabuza raised his beheading sword. Dang, dang, dang. The shuriken hit the decapitating sword and sparks flew everywhere. At the same time, Sasuke formed a seal instantly and transformed into several shadow clones with a bang. Naruto, little Sakura, protect Danas. Before Sasuke finished speaking, he rushed forward and fought with several water clones. So powerful. Is this Sasuke's strength? Naruto stared at this scene with wide eyes and shock. So handsome, as expected of Sasuke. Little Sakura clasped her hands together, looking excited. Lion combo. With Sasuke's swift kick, several water clones were blown apart. Damn, it's a shadow clone. A brat from the Uchiha clan has actually learned such a high-level ninjutsu. Shadow clone is different from the water clone and has almost the same combat power as the main body. Under the attack of Sasuke's shadow clone, his water clone was quickly defeated. Sasuke's display of strength shocked Zabuza. Zabuza repeated his old trick, and 7 or 8 water bodies crawled out again. HMPH, is Guzao Donkey exhausted? Sasuke sneered and formed a seal instantly, his chest rising high. Boom! A terrifying giant fireball erupted, with heat waves rolling in, and it blasted towards Zabuza. Along the way, the moment the water avatar is touched by the great fireball, it turns into water vapor and dissipates. The power of the fireball remained unabated and continued to blast towards Zabuza. Hateful. Zabuza gritted his teeth, had no choice but to withdraw his hands, and jumped back. Boom! The water exploded. Saved, Sasuke, good job. Kakashi's figure flashed beside him. Hey, Kakashi, you want to deal with him alone? Did you forget teamwork? Sasuke took a step forward. Yes, you were right, teamwork. Kakashi smiled. Come together and kill him. 2 phantoms rushed out, killing Zabuza. Damn Uchiha brat. Zabuza secretly cursed, finally catching Kakashi, and was immediately rescued by the brat. Water style, water dragon bomb technique. Zabuza stood on the water and quickly formed a seal. As he injected chakra, the water surface surged rapidly, forming a huge water dragon. The next second, his pupils shrank. He suddenly discovered that Kakashi had also completed the seal formation. A water dragon surged out from behind him. Boom! 2 water-style ninjutsus clashed, and a large amount of water exploded. Under the waves, Sasuke suddenly appeared in front of Zabuza. The sharp kunai stabbed his head. Not good. Zabuza turned his head quickly, and the kunai grazed along his face, leaving a trail of blood. The beheading sword struck fiercely, but Sasuke easily dodged it. Ha! Zabuza swung his sword, and Sasuke did a few backflips, moving away from the attack area. The next moment, a giant great fireball fell from the sky. It's Kakashi's great fireball technique. Boom. The water surface exploded, and Zabuza disappeared. Ha, he went underwater. Sasuke, be careful. Kakashi reminded him verbally. Sasuke looked around, paying attention to the movement around him. However, the next second, a hand reached out from the water and grabbed his ankle. Kid, I got you. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised, really. With a bang, he turned into white smoke and disappeared. What? It's Shadow Clone, when? Zabuza just realized something was wrong. Bang! Under the water, Sasuke kicked him hard in the jaw. Zabuza's body flew out and fell heavily onto the water, blood streaming from the corners of his mouth. A black shadow fell from the sky, and Sasuke kicked him hard from top to bottom, hitting his head hard. Damn you brat! Zabuchi rolled his body to avoid the blow. At the same time, he swung the decapitating sword in his hand. Dang! The kunai in Sasuke's hand was knocked away. The beheading sword hit his left hand, causing blood to drip from his hand. Kid, suffer death. Zabuza's eyes widened, he was about to kill Sasuke. Gee! Suddenly, a large amount of electricity surged out of Sasuke's body and blasted into his body along the beheading sword. Ah! Zabuza screamed and his body was instantly paralyzed. Kakashi, take action and kill the clone together. Sasuke's voice came from the other side. Zizizi. Like countless birds singing, a ball of dazzling white thunder and lightning condensed in Kakashi's hand. Oops! Zabuza broke out in cold sweat on his forehead. He wanted to dodge, but his body was paralyzed by the Chidori flow and he couldn't move. The next second, Kakashi rushed over like a phantom. Reikiri. The dazzling lightning instantly pierced Sasuke's shadow clone. The target is directly at Zabuza's heart. Secret technique, magic mirror ice crystal. Suddenly, a huge ice mirror appeared in front of Zabuza. Boom! Chidori bombarded the ice realm and exploded instantly, sending countless ice shards flying everywhere. The mist dispersed. A man wearing a patterned mask and green clothes appeared. With a wave of his hand, a chain bound Zabuza tightly. Konoha's ninja, Zabuza is the prey of our mist shinobi assassination force. He has committed numerous crimes and must be sent back to Kurigakure for trial. A soft voice came from his mouth. Mist shinobi chasing troops. Kakashi frowned and took a closer look at his mask. If I remember correctly, Zabuza was indeed being chased by the Mist Ninja village. Are the pursuers here? Kakashi wondered, it was too coincidental for him to appear. HMPH, we can send Kurigakure back, but he must be killed on the spot. Sasuke took a step forward. But he thought secretly in his heart, it turned out that he was in vain. Unfortunately, I almost killed him just now. He waved his hand and shot a shuriken towards Zabuza's neck. Dang! A steel needle flew out, blocking the shuriken. It seems that you are an enemy rather than a friend. Sasuke stared at him and said in a cold tone. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Sasuke, is this guy Zabuza's comrade? Not sure, but he blocked fatal attacks twice, so maybe. Sasuke whispered, it's always better to be cautious. Everyone in Konoha, we, Mist Shinobi, do not want to be enemies with you. Forget it, bye, you can't fool them. Zabuza stood up and quickly untied the chains on his body. The brats of the Uchiha clan are not simple. Oh, Mr. Zabuza, you are too impatient. Bai shook his head slightly and took a step forward. I see, it turned out to be a fake death. Your mask came from the killed Mist Shinobi ninja. Kakashi understood everything instantly. HMPH, it was such a close call just now. Kakashi, you almost won. Next, it's round 2. As soon as he finished speaking, the surrounding fog quickly became thicker. This time, your Sharingan will never work. Zabuza's voice came from the thick fog. Ah, things are getting troublesome. Kakashi shook his head. Zabuza's companions seemed to be quite strong. Sasuke whispered, Kakashi, I'll leave Zabuza to you. I'll kill the new guy. Aha! Sasuke disappeared. Kakashi, Uchiha's kid is very confident. Indeed, his ninjutsu and taijutsu are very good, but there is no way he can defeat Shiro. Zabuza's voice was cold. Oh, you are very confident too. Kakashi smiled and said, if I'm not wrong, I have bloodline limit for nothing. The ninjutsu he just performed was not any of the 5 types of ninjutsu. Kakashi, You are smart. However, in an environment with water, even I may not be able to defeat Bai. Just rely on his ice escape ninjutsu. Zabuza's voice faded away. Huh, not good. Cassius was startled, guessed that he was going to assassinate Danas. He quickly ran in the direction of Naruto and the others. Sakura-chan, the fog is getting thicker. Kakashi-sensei and Sasuke, why haven't you killed that guy yet? Naruto pouted. Damn it, I finally got a chance to fight. Naruto, our main mission is to protect Mr. Danas. Suddenly, fear appeared on little Sakura's face. A dark shadow appeared in front of him, it was Zabuza. He smiled ferociously and slashed at several people with his sword. At the critical moment, Kakashi appeared to block the attack. But the broad blade of the beheading sword still cut across his chest. PFF'd. Blood spattered and fell on Zabuza's face. Suddenly, Zabuza's figure quickly retreated and disappeared into the thick fog. HMPH, Kakashi, without Sharingan, you're dead this time. I will taste the taste of your blood. Zabuza was like a ghost, his voice echoing around him. Kakashi-sensei, are you okay? Naruto and Sakura were shocked and gathered around. Naruto, be careful. Kakashi gritted his teeth and stood up. Naruto's eyes gradually turned red when he saw Kakashi's appearance. There is a violent force in his body that is about to break out. Dang, dang, dang. The kunai and the steel needle kept colliding, and sparks flew everywhere. Two figures also kept intersecting in the thick fog. Bang! Shiro was kicked away by Sasuke and landed on the ground. Such agility, worthy of the Uchiha clan. It's a pity that your Sharingan is blocked in this thick fog. Shiro stood up and looked at Sasuke. HMPH, I don't need Sharingan to deal with you. Sasuke sneered. Seeing that he was being slighted, Bai felt anger welling up in his heart. Take the move, water style, Chenxiang water kill. A large number of water droplets rose into the sky around him, turning into sharp water arrows and flying towards Sasuke. Sasuke chakra condensed on his feet and his speed surged, dodging this move. At the same time, a figure flashed in front of Bai. So fast, Sasuke struck with a punch. Shiro had no time to be surprised and crouched down to avoid the attack. But Sasuke's knee hit him hard in the face. Click. Mist shinobi mask shattered. Bai's body flew out upside down, with blood streaming from the corner of his mouth, revealing his delicate face. It's really not that simple. No wonder I almost killed Mr. Zabuza. Bai knew very well that he was no match for the person in front of him, regardless of the bloodline limit. Ice escape, magic mirror ice crystal. The moment Bai's body landed on the ground, he activated his secret technique. Sasuke immediately noticed that the surrounding temperature dropped sharply. A large number of water balls gathered, forming dozens of smooth and thick ice mirrors around him. The white figure flashed and immediately got into the ice mirror. It's interesting. Is this ice escape? Sasuke looked around. In the ice mirror, Bai raised the sharp steel needle in his hand. Uchiha clan, good prey. This time, let's see how you hide. Whoosh. In an instant, a large number of steel needles shot out from all directions. It was so densely packed that there was no room for dodge. Since you can't hide, then you won't hide. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised, and a large amount of lightning surged out of his body. Around him, an intertwined grid formed. The incoming steel needle was struck by lightning and bounced around, leaving Sasuke unscathed. Chidori Ryu can not only be used for attack, but also has defensive effect. What? How is that possible? Shiro's eyes showed shock. Zabuza praised his ice release ninjutsu. Even if some Jonin falls into it, it is difficult to escape. But the Uchiha boy in front of him used lightning-style ninjutsu to defend and easily deflected his attack. I don't believe it. Anger welled up in Bai's chest. He holds a kunai and moves quickly with the help of an ice mirror to kill Sasuke. But Sasuke jumped slightly and dodged this seemingly ferocious attack. With the help of secret techniques, Shiro kept traveling through the ice mirror, killing Sasuke again and again. However, Sasuke's eyes were sharp, as if he could predict the trajectory of the attack. His figure swayed, his movements were smooth and natural, and he easily avoided all attacks. Every time Bai made a sharp attack, he couldn't even touch the corner of his clothes. This is impossible. In the ice mirror, Bai gritted his teeth and said, With the help of ice escape ninjutsu, he is as fast as a ghost. But in front of Sasuke, all this failed. Nothing is impossible. In the face of Sharingan's insight, all your actions are invisible. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised, and the scarlet Sharingan twisted. Bai instantly felt like a flying insect trapped in a spider's web, completely falling into prey. Is this an illusion? Bai Yi bit his tongue, and the pain brought him back to reality. No, Mr. Zabuza is waiting for me, I will definitely defeat you. Secret technique, Ice Needle Senbon. Bai quickly formed a seal. In midair, a large number of water droplets condensed and turned into sharp ice needles. They were densely packed, and the number was several times greater than before. Go! The dense ice needles kill Sasuke instantly. Interesting, do you want to penetrate the Chidori Ryu's defense with numbers? The fire chakra condensed in Sasuke's palm and slammed to the ground. Fire style, fire formation. From all directions of Sasuke, red flame barriers quickly rose up, completely covering his body. Tisk! The white ice needle hit the flame barrier, instantly vaporizing and dissipating into wisps of white mist. Bai, it's time to end. Sasuke jumped into the air with a sudden leap. He formed a seal with his hands, a large amount of chakra gathered in his chest, and spurted out. Fire style, Phoenix Fire Technique. Under Sasuke's control, dozens of flames accurately hit every ice mirror below. It's useless, my ice escape is the bloodline limit that is higher than the ordinary 5 escapes. It's just fire style ninjutsu. How is that possible? Bai's eyes widened and his voice stopped suddenly. The thick ice mirror around him melted quickly under the burning flames. If it is a normal fire style ninjutsu, it may not be effective against ice release. But Sasuke's fire style ninjutsu incorporates a hint of the power of the sun, and its power is unparalleled. Under the terrifying heat, Bai let out a scream and was forced to leave the ice mirror. The next moment, a hand grabbed his neck from bottom to top and pushed him to the ground. At the same time, a large amount of lightning surged out of Sasuke's body and blasted into Shiro's body, leaving him paralyzed and unable to move. Ice escape, I will accept this blood succession limit. Sasuke immediately activated Oni Mailuo Technique Kai, absorbing Shiro's ice release chakra and integrating it into his body. On the other side, Kakashi and Zabuza had a bloody battle. Both of them had scars on their bodies. HMPH, Kakashi, in this thick fog, I am the one who will win in the end. Zabuza's voice came from not far away. At this moment, neither of them noticed that Naruto's eyes gradually turned red and fox lines appeared on his face. Chakra, as bright as blood, seeped out of the body and transformed into a vague fox appearance. Suddenly, as if reaching a critical point, Naruto roared. The terrifying chakra exploded violently, and a terrifying aura spread violently. The fierce wind pressure instantly blew little Sakura away. Naruto turned into an afterimage and rushed into the thick fog. This is... No, it's Naruto, this unknown chakra, could it be that the seal of 9 tails has been released? Kakashi's eyes widened, a thought flashed through his mind, and he broke into a cold sweat. What happened? This creepy feeling. Is it Kakashi? No, he shouldn't have such a terrifying chakra. Then. Who is it? Zabuza was also shocked. There was a hint of ominous premonition in my heart. No, with this chakra strength, his seal should not be completely broken. Kakashi felt slightly relieved after sensing it carefully. But there was no doubt that the 9 tails chakra on Naruto was leaked. Looks like I have to make a quick decision. Kakashi's fingers were stained with blood, and while unrolling the scroll, he wiped it with his fingers and formed a seal with his hands. Zabuza, the matter is urgent, let's use this move to win. HMPH, Kakashi, stop talking nonsense, I would like to know how you are going to kill me in this situation. Zabuza sneered and said that in his opinion, Kakashi was just bluffing. Summon, Earth-style chasing fang technique. Kakashi slammed the scroll onto the ground. Suddenly, several traces of soil suddenly rose up on the ground, spreading in several directions. On the other side, Zabucho just wanted to use his killing move. Suddenly, the ground cracked open, and ninja dogs opened their mouths and pounced on him. Damn it, he only had time to dodge 2 or 3, and the other ninja dogs swarmed forward, biting his limbs with their sharp teeth, fixing him in place. Even the beheading sword fell to the ground. Roar. Like the roar of a monster. Naruto roared, and the terrifying sound waves dispersed the dense fog. Zabuza's figure was exposed. The next second, he saw Naruto moving quickly on the ground like a fox in front of him. Naruto appeared in front of him in a flash, carrying the terrifying chakra in his palm, and hit his chest hard. Bang! Click! The summoning ninja dog instantly dissipated. Zabuza's sternum was broken, and his whole body was thrown away like a sandbag leaking blood. On the other side, Sasuke suddenly turned his head. This is Nine Tails Chakra. Naruto went berserk. Shiro underneath Sasuke seemed to hear Zabuza's screams. Mr. Zabuza, wait for me. At the critical moment, Bai's body burst out with incredible power. Taking advantage of the moment when Sasuke was distracted, he broke free and quickly rushed into the white mist. It's such a strong force, it actually broke through, but I succeeded in ice escape. Sasuke frowned and quickly followed. In the thick fog, Naruto jumped up high and stabbed Zabuza directly in the chest with his sharp palm. It seemed like he was going to be disemboweled. At the critical moment, a figure rushed from the side and stood firmly in front of Zabuza. Poof! Blood spurts. Shiro's chest was penetrated, and he fell helplessly into Zabuza's arms. Mr. Zabuza, I protected you. The corners of Bai's mouth were bleeding, a smile appeared on his face, and he slowly closed his eyes. Tick-tock. The warm blood also brought Naruto back to his senses. Naruto looked in front of him in disbelief. Kid, I want you to die. With tears in his eyes, Zabuza held a kunai and stabbed Naruto fiercely. Even with serious injuries, Zabuza's tearful blow was enough to kill Naruto. Naruto had a look of horror on his face. Zetsu. A kunai wrapped in thunder and lightning flew from a distance and instantly penetrated Zabuza's arm. Kakashi appeared from behind and pulled Naruto away. What a close call, we finally caught up. Sasuke's figure walked out of the thick fog. Standing side by side with Kakashi, they looked at Zabuza who fell to the ground. Seriously injured by the Naruto Nine Tails chakra attack, and penetrated through the arm. Zabuza should be at the end of his strength. Kakashi said. The surrounding thick fog gradually dissipated. A small island in the country of waves. Many wandering warriors took boats and quickly docked. Cardo, surrounded by a group of people, set foot on land. I spent a lot of money to hire Zabuza and the two of them this time. They should be able to help me clear the way. Cardo put on his sunglasses and thought to himself. Zabuza is a wanted criminal by Mist Shinobi. Not only was he powerful, Grandmaster assassinated technique, and many ninjas died under his hands. It's more than enough to assassinate an ordinary person. Once the obstacle of Danas is cleared, it will be impossible to successfully build the cross-sea bridge in the country of waves. He can completely control the shipping of this country and firmly hold it in his hands. Those Konoha shinobi are not weak either. It would be best if both Zabuza and Zabuza are defeated. That way, I don't have to pay the remaining balance. Thinking of this, Cardo couldn't help laughing. Come with me and clean up the mess. On the other side, Zabuza stood up with strength. His chest was bleeding, his ribs were broken, and his left arm was drooping. He looked extremely miserable. If you don't kill me, let's capture him without mercy. In your current state, you will not be our opponent. Shut up, Kakashi, I lost this battle. But there is no option for surrender in my life. He turned his head and glanced at Bai's body not far away. Bai, it won't be long before I come to accompany you. Kakashi shook his head slightly, and the chakra in his hand condensed into a ball of dazzling thunder and lightning. He knew very well that for a master like Zabuza, dying in battle might be the best outcome. He just wanted to take action. Suddenly, a voice came from not far away. Everyone, how was the fight? Cardo quickly approached with a large group of warriors. Suddenly, he noticed the dead Shiro and the miserable Zabuza beside him. Especially seeing the unharmed Danas behind Kakashi and the others. Suddenly, his face became extremely gloomy. It's really useless. Zabuza, and that kid, you are all useless. The mission has not been completed. You two losers, spit out my money. Cardo was furious. You brat, you're dead and still blocking the road. When Cardo saw Bai's body, he couldn't help but kick it away. It's too much, he's all ready. Little Sakura covered her mouth and couldn't help but say, HMPH, little girl, you so-called ninjas are just tools. Since it's broken, it's natural to throw it away as garbage. Especially a useless brat like this, even more rubbish. Kato stretched out his foot and stepped on Shiro's body and spat. Asshole, get your feet off. As a ninja, seeing Haku who died in battle being so insulted, Naruto was also angry. Kato, you guy never thought of paying. Zabuza stared at him with evil eyes. Looking at the large group of warriors behind Kato, he understood. HMPH, after you both lose, I will clean up the mess, and naturally I won't pay a penny. You guys, come here and kill them all. Kato sneered and gave orders to the warrior behind him. Kakashi, it looks like my mission is over. Zabuza looked up at the sky. When will this bloody mist end? Then, Zabuza held a kunai in his right arm and instantly rushed towards the samurai in front. At this moment, whether it was Kato or many warriors, they seemed to see an evil ghost coming. Don't be afraid, charge me, and whoever kills Zabuza will be rewarded 10 million taels. Kato shouted in a panic. Under the temptation of large amounts of money. Many warriors roared and surrounded and killed him. However, Zabuza was as fast as a ghost, weaving through the crowd. The sharp kunai slit the throat of a famous warrior. Blood splashes. Laugh. But at the end of his fight, he was inevitably struck by the sword in the hands of a samurai. Blood spurted out. Like a bloody man, Zabu slashed through the crowd. It's like an evil spirit attacking Kato. Ghost, it's the devil. No, don't kill me, I'll give you money. Kato didn't expect that Zabuza would still be so terrifying in this state. However, before he could finish his words, sharp pain scratched his neck. Poof, a very valuable head flew out. After rolling on the ground for a few times, Kato's shocked and frightened look was revealed. Kill. The warriors paused, then roared and killed. Many swords slash. Zabuza fell powerless. Kill them. The red-eyed samurai turned to look at Sasuke and the others. Boom. A huge fireball erupted. The terrifying heat wave made the warriors at the front whimper and dodge. Don't forget, your boss is dead and has no money to give you. What, you want to risk your life for a dead man? Sasuke's voice was cold. Let these crazy warriors calm down a little. They glanced at Kato, and it was true that dead people would not pay them wages. You might as well go find his inheritance. Sasuke continued to bewitch. These warriors were startled. Thinking of Zabuza who was like a demon before, he couldn't help but shudder. These ninjas are so scary. Kato's treasury must have been hidden by him. That's right, let's leave quickly. Hurry, return to the stronghold quickly. Almost instantly, these warriors dispersed in a crowd. Run towards the ship in the distance at a faster speed. It is obviously more cost-effective to fight against Sasuke and the others than to search for Kato's inheritance. Phew, Sasuke, good job. Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief. In the battle with Zabuza, not only was he injured, but his chakra was consumed a lot. Facing these crazy warriors, it may not be possible to protect Danas. Okay, let's take him home first. Plop. Kakashi relaxed and his body instantly collapsed to the ground. Kakashi-sensei. Little Sakura and Naruto were shocked. Sasuke stepped forward and took a look. Don't worry, he just consumed too much and his life is not in danger. You take him to Mr. Danaza's house first. I'll come over later. Sasuke said to Naruto and the others. Little Sakura nodded, and together with Naruto, she helped Kakashi up and walked towards the residence deep in the island. Sasuke walked towards Zabuza and Haku's bodies. Suddenly, he stopped and looked up at the sky. It's snowing. Sasuke held out his hand. Thousands of pure white snowflakes fell from the sky, falling on the corpses of Zabuza and the other two. Chapter 31. Danaza's home. Seeing his safe return, his daughter and 10-year-old grandson Inari smiled in surprise. Grandpa, great, you're okay. Inari threw herself into his arms, with tears in her eyes. According to what Grandpa said before, his trip is very dangerous and he may be assassinated. It's great to be back alive. By the way, Father, they are. The Dana's woman looked towards Naruto. They are benefactors, these ninjas of Konoha, who risked their lives to protect me. Inari, please arrange them quickly and call the doctor. Danas came back to his senses and said, "Yes, Grandpa." Inari responded and hurried out. Naruto and the others helped Kakashi to an empty room and lay down to rest. Soon, the doctor from the island arrived and bandaged Kakashi's wound. Sasuke also rushed back at this time. Seeing that Kakashi was okay, he breathed a sigh of relief. Soon, upon learning that Danas had returned safely, the residents of the island gathered around him. When they knew that the villain Cardo had been killed, they were even more excited. "Great, these ninjas of Konoha are our heroes of the Land of Waves. That's right, help us kill that bastard Cardo, and our life will be much better in the future. Danas, let's start building that cross-sea bridge. Haha, the bridge must be named after these Konoha heroes. Yes, remember them well." The residents on the island expressed their gratitude to several people. They brought out various seafood specialties to entertain them. Some people even suggested that they should donate money to Sasuke and the others. But considering the huge amount of money required to build a sea-crossing bridge, Sasuke and the others refused. "Kakashi, given the severity of your injury, you will probably have to rest for a few days to slowly recover." Sasuke glanced at him. "Hey, Zabuza's strength did cause me a little trouble." Kakashi touched his face and took out Intimate Heaven. "These days, just treat it as a holiday. By the way, where is Naruto? Where did he go?" Kakashi noticed that Naruto, the noisy guy, was not there. After the battle with Zabuza, he seemed to be hit and said he wanted to become stronger. Sasuke curled his lips. "I guess he is practicing in the forest right now." "Sasuke, you saw the chakra leaking from Naruto." Kakashi stared at the book, but suddenly spoke. "Well, is that weird red chakra the power of 9 tails?" Sasuke said deliberately. Kakashi was a little surprised. Sasuke and other new generations may have occasionally heard of the 9 Tails Rebellion more than 10 years ago. However, due to the order of the third Hokage, the news that Naruto was assisted by the 9 Tails people did not spread. These things are recorded in the family, and the tribesmen also told me. Sasuke blamed all these things on Uchiha. As a prominent family in Konoha, he knows a little bit more than 100 million pieces of information, so it makes sense. By the way, Kakashi, I learned something about Chidori during the last battle. In the next few days, I will practice alone and develop ninjutsu, and then I will join you. Kakashi's eyes twitched when he heard this. Isn't it too exaggerated? It's only been a few days since I mastered the Chidori, but I'm already developing a derivative ninjutsu. What a terrifying talent. Compared with Sasuke, the gap between my so-called genius name is huge. Sasuke took care of everything. Later, he bought a map to the Kingdom of Water. To control the ninja world, the 5 major ninja villages are indispensable. The legendary Blood Mist, go and have a look. So, Sasuke gathered his chakra, walked on the water, and quickly rushed to Kurigakure. The Kingdom of Waves is close to the Kingdom of Water and is also located in the sea. But the distance between the two is still not small. Sasuke set off in the afternoon, gliding across the water at an astonishing speed. Until night, still did not arrive at the destination. Hey, without the flying summoning technique, it would be too slow to just rely on foot power. Sasuke couldn't help but complain. Wait, speaking of rushing. He suddenly remembered that there is a famous space-time ninjutsu in Konoha village. Flying Thunder God Technique. It is a space-time ninjutsu developed by second Hokage. As long as you leave a chakra mark, you can teleport to the place marked. Whether it's for rescue or on the road, it's extremely convenient. It seems that I have to find a way to learn this ninjutsu. Sasuke secretly thought to himself that with his talent, he could quickly learn the technique just by looking at it. Soon, Sasuke came to an isolated island. He caught some plump fish in the sea, made a fire and showed his magical cooking skills, and had a delicious meal of grilled fish. Night falls and the bright moon hangs high. Sasuke felt something and came to the edge of the towering cliff. He sat cross-legged and began to meditate. Suddenly, the rich power of moonlight was continuously absorbed into his body. In Sasuke's mind, the crescent moon, which was almost completely dark and made of mental power, began to change. The crescent moon appears. Sasuke's mental power then skyrocketed, and he officially entered the waning moon chapter of the moon goddess. This feeling, Sasuke's mental power is released. In an instant, within 100 meters of the surrounding area, all kinds of faint insects, roaring sea wind, gravel, stones, etc. were almost all under his perception. It was as if this area had become his spiritual realm. Great, finally a breakthrough. Sasuke opened his eyes, looking delighted. With his current mental strength, once he uses Sharingan to perform illusions. There is perfect bloodline pure method and the spiritual power of the Waning Moon chapter. His 2-Tomo Sharingan will also be much stronger than some 3 Magatama blood chakra genjutsu. Caught off guard, some illusion masters will fall for it. It's definitely a killer move. Next, we have to develop matching illusion techniques. Under the moonlight, Sasuke closed his eyes and started to deduce. Sasuke also felt more confident about this trip to the blood mist. Early the next morning, facing the rising sun, Sasuke quickly landed on a large island. The island is surrounded by mountains and filled with clouds and mist. Sasuke moved quickly along the map. Soon, he stood on a towering cliff and looked down. There are a large number of circular buildings among the mountains, forming a large village. It is looming under the mist and is isolated from the world. Kurigakure, here we come. Sasuke looks down at Kurigakure. As expected of Yamanaka, a village hidden deep in the island. It's quite remote. He thought silently. Zabuza was hunted down by Kurigakure and the Kingdom of Water, mainly because of the assassination of Yagura, the 4th Mizukage. According to the timeline, Terumi should not have taken charge at this time and took office as Mizukage. In other words, the one who controls Kurigakure now is Uchiha Obito. Sasuke's eyes turned cold. Obito is also the target of his revenge. If Obito had been controlling Kurigakure and even the water country. Wait until the 4th Ninja War, with his White Zetsu army plus the Kingdom of Water. Maybe it's actually possible to achieve Project Tsuki no Mi. In this case, it can't be what you want. The corners of his mouth raised slightly. Then, he dodged a few times and rushed towards Kurigakure. Sasuke did not hide his figure, but appeared directly at the fog shadow gate. Sneaking in secretly, once discovered, the entire mist shinobi will definitely be hunted down. Obviously, it's better to go straight in from the front. Sure enough, soon the mist shinobi ninja discovered his traces. Hey, who are you? Stop, this is Kurigakure. No one can enter without Mizukage-sama's order. Leave immediately. 2 mist shinobi guards shouted loudly. Suddenly, they caught a glimpse of the Konoha forehead protector in Sasuke's hand. Suddenly, the two of them looked tense. No, it's a ninja from Konoha. If there's a situation, hurry up and call for reinforcements. Call out. A firework exploded in the sky. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, more than a dozen figures came from the depths of the village. These mist shinobi ninjas surrounded Sasuke with evil looks. Everyone, don't be nervous, I have good news for you. Well, if you don't kill me, I'll kill you. Sasuke said slowly. What did you say? Will the demon be killed again? How is that possible? He is an S-class traitor wanted by Kurigakure. You little brat of Konoha, did Zabuza die at your hands? Stop joking, how can such a brat be the opponent of a ghost? When the ninjas of Kurigakure heard this, they almost didn't believe it. With the strength of Demon Zabuza, he was not able to capture him for several years despite being fully wanted by the Land of Water. During this period, how many Anbu masters did Mist Shinobi die? How could such a powerful enemy die so easily? Hey, kid from Konoha, stop talking nonsense here. If you continue to cause trouble, don't blame us for being rude to you. The ninja of Kurikage village said coldly. Oh, why don't you believe it? Sasuke shook his head and threw a forehead protector at them. No, see for yourself. This is. Everyone took a closer look and found that there was a deep mark in the middle of the mist shinobi forehead protector. It's obviously a sign of rebellion. Could it be that? One of the mist shinobi ninjas immediately cast summoning. Bang! A ninja dog appeared and sniffed the forehead protector. Woof! It barked loudly. At this time, the expressions of everyone in Kurigakure changed. It seems true. That's right, it's Zabuza's forehead protector. Quick, inform the elders immediately. This Konoha boy, I'm sorry, please come in. The other fog ninjas smiled at Sasuke and said. Thus, Sasuke successfully entered Kurigakure. He looked around. The village was filled with mist, and various round buildings were hidden among the trees. Occasionally, some curious villagers looked towards Sasuke. After all, Kurigakure is quite closed, and no outsiders have come in for a long time. Compared to Konoha, the population seems to be much smaller. Sasuke secretly thought, after all, it is an island country, and it is inevitable that the population will be small. Brother Konoha, the elder will be here soon. Please wait a moment. 2 mist shinobi ninjas followed Sasuke closely. Although they looked very polite, Sasuke saw wariness in their eyes. He didn't care and asked, "By the way, I remember Zabuza has a bounty amount." Yes, Zabuza's crime of assassinating Mizukage is unforgivable. He is wanted in the land of water, and his bounty is as high as 30 million taels. 30 million taels. Sasuke's eyes lit up. Good guy, this dead man is getting rich, it's so exciting. I remember that Asuma's reward amount seemed to be 35 million taels. But the water country is relatively poor. With Zabuza's reputation, the crime is bigger, and the bounty will be lower. Sasuke touched his chin. 30 million taels was a huge income, very good. Konoha boy, is Zabuza really dead? At this time, an old man with a cane in one hand and white eyebrows walked over accompanied by several people. Behind him was Ching, whose left eye was covered. And a beautiful and mature young woman. She has green eyes, long curly reddish-brown hair, her right eye is covered by her hair, and her lips are pink. She looks very attractive. At the same time, she was wearing a blue tube-top dress with a white belt around her waist. She had white skin, a graceful figure, a very full chest, and dark blue nail polish on her hands. What a beautiful lady! Sasuke couldn't help but look at it a few more times. This is Master Yuan, the most respected elder in our Kurigakure. Ao introduced Sasuke, but whether it was Yuenshi, Ching or Terumi-mei, the eyes they looked at Sasuke were cold. Is he the Yuenshi? Sasuke understood that Kurigakure was different from Konoha. As an elder, Genshi has a very high status, almost as high as Mizukage. He is in charge of all important things in the village. Kurigakure needs to ask his opinion on many important matters. Well, it's like a combination of Danzo and Udatane Kaharu, several Hokage consultants. Suddenly, Terumi-mei took a step forward and asked coldly, "Kid, did Zabuza die at the hands of you Konoha?" Terumi-mei, don't be rude to your guests. Master Yuan paused the crutch in his hand. I'll ask about Zabuza later. Young man of Konoha, come with us. Yuenshi turned around and led Sasuke towards a wide and tall building not far away. When Sasuke passed by Terumi-mei, his lips moved slightly. What? Terumi-mei was shocked. He looked at Sasuke in disbelief. What's wrong? Ching on the side was a little confused. No. Nothing. Terumi-mei shook her head, but her eyes were fixed on Sasuke in front of her. How did he know about this kind of thing? Spacious reception room. Okay, Konoha boy, you said you'd kill me if you didn't kill me. Here's the certificate. A single forehead protector can't convince us to trust you. Master Yuan took a sip of tea and said calmly. Of course, Zabuza's body is here. Sasuke nodded and took out a scroll. He opened the scroll, formed a seal with his hands, gathered chakra and patted it. Bang! With a burst of white smoke coming out, a huge ice crystal appeared, and Zabuza and Haku's bodies were frozen in it. Yes, it is indeed him. Ching formed a seal with one hand, observed with his white eyes and nodded to confirm. In addition to Zabuza's body, there was also a beheading sword, so it couldn't be wrong. Alas, when he set foot on this road, he was destined to have this ending. Master Yuan sighed. Terumi-mei and Chingya bowed their heads in silence, and the atmosphere was a little depressing for a while. Konoha boy, can you tell me what happened? Sasuke nodded slightly. Then he briefly talked about the matter. Of course, he emphasized that Zabuza did not die at the hands of Kakashi. But the samurai who died at the hands of Cardo. Terumi-mei, I'll leave the rest to you, I'm a little tired. After hearing this, Master Yuan silently stood up and left. Ching, please send the elder back. Terumi-mei said, I have something to do and want to talk to him alone. Okay. Ching gave her a confused look, but still left with Master Yuan. When only Sasuke was left in the living room, Terumi-mei slowly stood up and walked behind Sasuke. She gently held Sasuke's shoulders and exhaled. Little handsome boy, what did you just say? Sasuke said, shrinking his neck and raising the corners of his mouth. I said, Zabuza is the hero of Mist Shinobi, right? How did you know? Terumi Mei wondered. Only Mist Shinobi executives like them should know about Zabuza. Of course Zabuza said that. Sasuke started talking nonsense. He glanced at Zabuza's corpse not far away. I thought to myself, dead people can't speak anyway. This is impossible. With Zabuza's tone, I will never reveal this to you, Konoha. Terumi Mei suddenly said coldly, don't even think about lying to me. HMPH, tell the truth, otherwise I. No, of course he didn't tell me specific things. I just made assumptions. Something happened to your Mist Shinobi, Mizukage-sama, right? Sasuke said quickly. Terumi Mei glanced at him suspiciously. Real, absolutely true. Sasuke nodded, looking sincere. Then why did he tell you? You were enemies before. Well, this is why I came here. Tell me about Kurigakure, maybe I can help you. Sasuke smiled slightly. His handsome face and cold temperament made Terumi Mei's heart beat faster. What a handsome little guy, he probably doesn't have any bad intentions. Maybe it's Zabuza's last wish. Terumi Mei was stunned for a moment and then spoke slowly. Yes, I suspect that fourth Mizukage Yagura-sama is controlled by others. Quite smart. Sasuke secretly praised it and continued to listen calmly. A long time ago, we in Kurigakure were a peaceful village. Second Mizukage Kaiden Genzuki-sama followed Konoha's example and also founded the ninja school, Anbu and other organizations, and Kurigakure also developed as a result. During this period, a large number of outstanding ninjas were trained, including the 7 ninja swordsmen. But when third Mizukage came to power, everything changed. He encouraged the ninjas in the village to participate in the Ninja World War in an attempt to gain benefits. At the same time, he also launched a policy called Blood Mist, hoping to cultivate more powerful ninjas through bloody killings. Unfortunately, all this failed, and Kurigakure was also defeated in the battle with Konoha. So, the third Mizukage stepped down and Lord Yagura, the most outstanding ninja in the village at the time, took over the Mizukage's place. Yagura-sama, like us, is extremely opposed to the Blood Mist policy. Objection. But isn't Kurigakure still in the Blood Mist now? Sasuke said deliberately. Well, that's what's weird about me. Terumi Mei glanced at him and said, when Lord Yakashi came to power, he indeed began to abolish the bloody policy. He signed a truce with Konoha, revitalized the village's economy, and even made a sacrifice, volunteering to become the Three Tails Jinchuriki. But about 10 years ago, he suddenly changed his mind and restarted Blood Mist, and Mist Shinobi fell into darkness. And in the past few years, his personality has become more and more irritable and unstable. Even one of the 7 ninjas who had always supported him, the Watermelon Mountain Fugu Demon, was brutally murdered. Terumi Mei sighed after saying this. So, Zabuza assassinated Yagura so that Kurigakure would not return to that bloody and cruel era, right? Sasuke said slowly. Yeah, but Yagura-sama is a perfect Jinchuriki after all, so he's not that easy to deal with. Zabuza's assassination attempt failed, and the Mist Shinobi genius Mangetsu who acted with him was also affected. In the end, Mangetsu died, and he escaped alone and became the Mist Shinobi. Terumi Mei didn't know why, but she told Sasuke everything. Sure enough, it's just as I thought. It seems that the fourth Mizukage is controlled by Genjutsu. Illusion. Yagura-sama is a perfect Jinchuriki, so he shouldn't be controlled by Genjutsu. Terumi Mei frowned slightly. This was where she was confused. Because of this, many ninjas in the village had no doubts and only thought that Yagura had a drastic change in temperament. Sasuke pouted. Jinchuriki can resist Genjutsu, but it also depends on the strength of the spell. For example, Infinite Tsukuyomi, show me how you resist one. No, I guess he and the tailed beast inside him were under a Genjutsu. Using Genjutsu to control tailed beasts. Is there really a ninja who can do this? Terumi Mei hesitated. Of course, just with these eyes. Magatama appeared in Sasuke's eyes, turning scarlet. This is Sharingan, you. Terumi Mei was surprised. Unexpectedly, the handsome young man in front of me is actually from the Uchiha tribe. Use the Sharingan Genjutsu to control Yagura-sama and the Three Tails together. Terumi Mei put her finger on her chin, vaguely understanding. In this way, Yagura's behavior over the years makes sense. Of course, I'm just guessing whether 4th Mizukage is controlled by Sharingan. I won't know until I meet him. Sasuke added. Guess, little guy, what is the purpose of telling me this? Terumi Mei stared at Sasuke. Suddenly, Terumi Mei's eyes lit up. HMPH, I understand, you want to see Lord Mizukage and assassinate him. In this way, Kurigakure will be in chaos, and Konoha can take the opportunity to invade. What the hell? Sasuke was speechless. This woman has really strong association skills. Isn't it? Anyway, I won't let you see Yagura-sama. Terumi Mei said with a slight smile. Please, I'm weak. What should I be afraid of with you following me? I have heard in Konoha that Terumi Mei not only possesses 2 blood inheritance limits, but is also powerful, intelligent, and beautiful. Sasuke started talking nonsense. Wait a minute, you little scoundrel, you are so glib and know how to make women happy. Terumi Mei stretched out her finger and tapped Sasuke's forehead. You little rascal, even if Yagura-sama is really controlled by illusion, there is nothing you can do about it. She didn't believe that the beautiful boy in front of her had the ability to unlock this level of illusion. Yeah, Sasuke's Magatama eyes swirled, and huge spiritual power surged out. Open black lens bracket Sharingan illusion, waning moon. Close black lens bracket. Suddenly, a huge bright moon seemed to appear in front of Terumi Mei's eyes. Under the waning moon, she seemed to see herself walking into the wedding hall with a handsome man with a happy face. The grand wedding scene was surrounded by blessings from various guests and the envious looks of other women. A closer look at the groom's face revealed that he was a grown-up Sasuke. It's great, what a perfect wedding. Terumi Mei smiled. Hey, wake up. Sasuke patted her face gently. Terumi Mei came back to her senses with a blush on her face. But then he froze. How is it possible that I fell into his illusion? Terumi Mei is in disbelief. You know, her strength is already one of the best in Kurigakure. Obviously, she underestimated the strength of the little guy in front of her. As expected of the Uchiha clan. What is the purpose of helping me like this? Terumi Mei said seriously. You should know what happened to Uchiha. Well, I heard something. Wait, Sasuke, do you suspect that the person controlling Yagura-sama is Uchiha Itachi? No, Master Yagura was controlled about 10 years ago. At that time, Itachi was just a few-year-old kid from Konoha. Terumi Mei shook her head. He had already investigated it, and it was clear that Uchiha Itachi's age did not match. Not Itachi, but the one who can control the perfect Jinchuriki must be Sharingan. It must be one of the surviving rats from Uchiha. Sasuke said calmly. You should be able to guess my purpose. Terumi Mei touched her chin. Revenge, and revive Uchiha. Sasuke nodded. Revenge aside, I can't revive Uchiha alone. He said, looking at the curvy Terumi Mei. Huh, little rascal, you. Daughter, you greedy for your sister's body. Terumi Mei suddenly widened her beautiful eyes and blushed. Okay, you really have no good intentions. She reached out her finger and poked Sasuke's head. Ahem. Suddenly, Terumi Mei leaned down and came close to Sasuke's ear, her red lips opened slightly, and she exhaled softly. If we can really save Kurigakure, it's not impossible. Sasuke smelled the orchid fragrance and blurted out. You're so naughty. No, you smell so good. Okay, it's settled. The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly. By the way, in order to hide this from others, I will treat you as my sister. FK sister. Terumi Mei frowned, always feeling a little weird. Okay, little rascal, it's up to you. Suddenly, Terumi Mei lowered her head and tapped Sasuke's face with her red lips. Little rascal, I'll give you some interest first, it's up to you. Terumi Mei recalled the scene in the illusion with a playful smile on her face. Soon, Sasuke left the reception room. Ching was waiting not far away. When he saw the two people coming out, he quickly walked over. What's going on now? It's up to you. Sasuke winked. Terumi Mei nodded. Ching on the side was confused. What's going on? Suddenly it seemed like I was an outsider. How could these two people become so close so quickly? But then, Terumi Mei's words left Ching in shock. She spoke roughly. What? Mizukage-sama is probably controlled by Sharingan. Later, Ching slowly came back to his senses. If you think about it carefully, indeed, Yagura-sama has changed completely over the years. Not only did he resume the blood mist policy, he also went on a killing spree against those who had supported him in the past. Now what? Ching asked with a frown. The supreme leader of Mist Shinobi turned out to be a puppet. If this incident spreads, Kurigakure may become the laughingstock of other villages. Discuss it with the elders first. I have a rough plan. Let Mizukage-sama leave the village first. Once Three Tails appears, the people in the village will be in danger. Terumi-mei thought for a while and said, well, let's go. Afternoon, Mizukage building. Terumi-mei and Ching took Sasuke to meet Yagura. Aha! At the door of the building, two Anbu wearing masks appeared. Wait, Lord Terumi-mei, who is he? An Anbu looked at Sasuke's changing face and asked. Oh, we would like to inform Mizukage-sama that Zabuza's body has been found. It was this ninja guy who discovered it. Zabuza. The two Anbu looked at each other. Let them in. Suddenly, Yagura's voice came. So, Sasuke and others walked into the hall. At a glance, he saw a thin figure hidden in the darkness deep in the hall. Terumi-mei, Ching, you have something to say. Yagura spoke in a calm tone. Sasuke's eyes narrowed slightly, and his huge mental power instantly covered the front. He immediately noticed that Yagura's eyes were dull, like a puppet without any emotions. At the same time, he discovered another unusual chakra in Yagura's body. As expected, he is controlled by Obito. Sasuke glanced at Terumi-mei, who immediately understood. Mizukage-sama, Zabuza's body is over at Lake March, and there are several other traitorous ninjas as well. Yes, Mizukage-sama, we Mist Shinobi ninjas are fighting with them. Ching on the side added. Really? In that case, let's go over and have a look. Traitors, all deserve to die. Yagura walked out from the depths of the hall. Mizukage building, Sasuke stared at Yagura carefully. He is thin, has green hair and purple eyes, and has a suture-like scar under his left eye. There is also a very large stick-like weapon with a hook on the front end on its back. Is he Yagura? He does have a baby face. Sasuke secretly thought, but Yagura looks very young, but is actually older than Terumi-mei. Let's go, Yagura ordered numbly. Later, several Anbu followed him and left Kurigakure with Terumi-mei and others. In the mountains and forests, several people moved forward quickly. Along the way, Yagura remained silent. Terumi-mei saw this and slowly approached Sasuke. Hey, little rascal, are you sure Mizukage-sama is really controlled by Genjutsu? She asked in a low voice. If Yagura was not controlled, she would have committed the following crime and her end would definitely not be better. In the end, he might end up like Zabuza. Well, I'm sure, just stick to the plan. Sasuke smiled slightly and reassured Terumi-mei. Oh, I hope everything goes well. Terumi-mei bit her red lip slightly. This time, she bets her and Kurigakure's future on Sasuke. Soon, several people came to a large lake. Ow, where are the traitors from Mist Shinobi? Yagura stood on the big tree, looking down at them. Obviously, there are no traces of battle around, which is different from what Terumi-mei and others said. Mizukage-sama, we brought you here to confirm something. As a perfect Jinchuriki, you should be able to fully transform into a tailed beast. Let's see the state of Three Tails Isatsu. Terumi-mei said slowly after being silent. Huh, are you ordering me? Terumi-mei, ow, as Mist Shinobi ninjas, how dare you deceive Mizukage? How brave, take them down. Yagura showed anger on his face and gave orders to several Anbu. Wait a minute, everyone, we suspect that Lord Yagura is controlled by Genjutsu. This is the handwriting of the elder. Terumi-mei unfolded the scroll and said loudly. Several Anbu were hesitant. The elder also had a high status in the village. More importantly, they also noticed the changes in Yagura over the years. It's really useless. Yagura cursed angrily and rushed over quickly. Several Anbu looked at each other and followed suit. Terumi-mei and others quickly retreated towards the lake behind them. When several people came to the water. Boom, the water surface was choppy, and giant runes emerged from the bottom of the water. Water-style barrier, hurricane water ceiling formation. Terumi-mei, Ao and several Kurikage ninjas who suddenly appeared immediately formed seals. The next second, a giant water prison enveloped the surroundings, isolating Yagura and them from the outside world. No, it's the water prison barrier. It's our Mist Shinobi's secret barrier technique. What should we do now? Captain, we can't break through at all. Outside the water prison, several Anbu stopped. The situation is critical. You, hurry up and notify others. Captain Anbu ordered and turned to look inside the water prison boundary. Ow, you also want to assassinate Mizukage. Yagura took off his weapon and stared at them coldly. HMPH, take action and break the illusion. Sasuke and the others didn't waste any time and took action immediately, planning to control Yagura first. Ao shot out several kunai with his hand, and Yagura immediately formed a seal and blocked it with water barrier. Boil style, Chaowu technique. Terumi Mei immediately formed a seal, opened her red lips, and sprayed out boiling high-heat mist. Sasuke, get behind me and be careful not to get burned by boil style. Terumi Mei reminded. Within the water prison boundary, her boil style has been greatly increased, making it very lethal. Sure enough, under the mist, Yagura's body began to dissolve, revealing blood-red flesh. Damn, you all deserve to die. Yagura roared, and red chakra surged out of his body, covering his body instantly. He was on all fours, with 3 red chakra tails appearing behind him, as if he had turned into a wild beast. Be careful, it's a half-tailed beast. Mizukage-sama has used the power of 3 tails. Ching and Terumi Mei's expressions changed. With the chakra code wrap, the damage of Terumi Mei's boil style is drastically reduced. The power of 3 tails. Sasuke smiled, he had been waiting for this moment. You cover me. Sasuke's body flashed with lightning and he quickly rushed out. Sasuke, don't go there, it's dangerous. Terumi Mei shouted. But when the lightning-style chakra stimulates cell activity, he is incredibly fast. Instantly rushed into the fog. Wrapped in the lightning-style chakra, Sasuke suffered no damage. But Terumi Mei also quickly put away her ninjutsu. This little guy is so fast. Ao was surprised by Sasuke's display of strength. Roar, the half-tailed beast Yagura roared. He stretched out his hand and the red chakra tentacles quickly wrapped around Sasuke. Sasuke refused to dodge and allowed the chakra to attack. Kid, I got you. Yagura roared and pulled Sasuke forward. Terumi Mei's expression changed and she quickly formed a seal. Water style, Water Dragon Bomb. A giant water dragon bursts from her mouth and rushes towards Yagura. However, Yagura opened his mouth and a small-tailed beast bomb flew out, instantly blasting the water dragon. It's a small trick, so let's die. He was about to kill Sasuke when he suddenly noticed. The chakra code on his body faded rapidly and was quickly consumed. Yagura showed a look of shock. How is it possible? It's this kid. The corner of Sasuke's mouth raised, the power of 3 tails was obtained. Unfortunately, the amount of Onigaro technique absorbed is too small, so we need to work harder. The next second, surging chakra surged out of Yagura. A giant tail covered with scales slowly grew out from behind him. Wrapped in a dark red chakra coat, his size also began to increase. Suddenly, the lake surface became choppy. This scene made the faces of Terumi Mei and others change drastically. No, stop him quickly. Want to enter the complete tailed beast transformation. Sasuke slapped his waist, and a giant shuriken appeared. Then he swung it hard. Go! The giant shuriken roared and instantly struck Yagura at a terrifying speed. Yagura waved its huge tail, trying to swat it away. However, the giant shuriken in midair transformed into Sasuke with a bang. Countless birds chirped. A ball of dazzling white thunder and lightning appeared in the hand. Chidori. Sasuke was like a bolt of lightning, cutting through in an instant. Blood spurted out, and 3 tails' giant tail was broken off at the root. Plop. The huge tail covered with scales fell into the water. Blood dyed the lake red. Roar. The severely injured Yagura roared, sound waves rolling. Suddenly, the water surface was turbulent. Quick, now. Sasuke landed lightly on the water and shouted. Water style, Water Formation Pillar. Almost at the same time, Terumi Mei formed the seal. A giant meteorite-like water ball blasted out, hitting Yagura. Water style, Water Dragon Bomb. The next second, the water flow formed a giant water dragon and bit Yagura violently. Very good. Sasuke stepped on the water and quickly arrived in front of Yagura. Suffering two powerful water-style ninjutsu, Yagura fell into a dazed state for a short time. The complete tailed beast transformation was directly interrupted. Ice escape, hydrated ice crystals. The next second, Sasuke used the ice release ninjutsu, turning Yagura and the surrounding water into a huge ice coffin. Sasuke relaxed and smiled. Success. Terumi Mei's eyes were filled with surprise. She jumped several times and came to Sasuke's side. Ice escape ninjutsu. Little villain, I didn't expect you to have such a blood inheritance limit. Terumi Mei looked at the frozen Yagura and said with a smile. Hehe, there are still many things you don't know. Sasuke whispered in his ear. Well, you're so awesome. Terumi Mei praised her sincerely. Although Sasuke is young, he is proficient in the use of various ninjutsu. Plus Sharingan, Ice Release, Chidori and other powerful blood succession limit ninjutsu. Stronger than some Jonin. There is a huge gap between some so-called geniuses and prodigies in Kurigakure and Sasuke. It's amazing, I actually controlled Mizukage-sama. Ching on the side rushed over with a look of admiration on his face. Outside the water prison, the Anbu members looked anxious. Yagura-sama is captured. How could this happen? He is a powerful Jinchuriki. Who is that kid from Konoha? As Anbu, their duty is to protect Mizukage. But now, no, Mizukage-sama, suddenly, a sudden change occurred. Yagura, who was originally sealed by ice crystals, suddenly had a large amount of tailed beast chakra pouring out of him. It's really unexpected. An unfamiliar voice sounded from Yagura's mouth. No, retreat. Sasuke was shocked and the others quickly backed away. Kaka. The next second, the ice crystal burst. Yagura, who looked blank, slowly rose into the air wrapped in the tailed beast chakra. Are you the mastermind behind Mizukage-sama's control? Who are you? Ching took a step forward and shouted loudly. His Byakugan could see that Yagura's body was occupied by another chakra. Apparently someone behind the scenes is in control. HMPH, stupid mist shinobi, keep enjoying being a puppet. As soon as he finished speaking, Yagura quickly grew in size. Soon it transformed into a huge turtle with a hard shell and a large number of spikes all over its body. 3 broad, thorny tails swayed slowly. Oops, 3 tails showed up. Beads of sweat broke out on Terumi Mei's forehead. How to deal with this huge chakra? Ching just felt it briefly and almost fell into despair. The power of the tailed beast is not something that Jonin can handle. Even cage-level experts are helpless against tailed beasts. Roar. 3 tails roared loudly. The terrifying chakra condenses into a ball and continues to compress. Damn, it's tailed beast bomb. Cold sweat broke out on Ching's forehead. With the power of the tailed beast bomb, once he was hit, his body would probably be wiped out. The situation is out of control, you should run away for your lives immediately. Terumi Mei turned around and said to the several mist shinobi ninjas behind her. In the current situation, these mist ninjas can't be of much help and will only die in vain. Master Terumi Mei, shut up and leave. Terumi Mei scolded. Yes, although several people showed unwillingness, they quickly dived into the water and left. Later, Terumi Mei came to Sasuke. Little rascal, aren't you leaving? Are you going to die here with your sister? You're not afraid, so what am I afraid of? Also, don't be so pessimistic, tailed beasts are not invincible. Sasuke remained calm. Use your clone to distract him. Sasuke said calmly and quickly formed a seal. Several water bodies crawled out of the water and scattered in all directions. Okay. Terumi Mei's eyes lit up. Sure enough, faced with a large number of clones that suddenly appeared. 3 Tails' eyes widened, full of confusion. In the tailed beast state, it can't tell the difference at all. The next second, tailed beast bomb randomly hit a clone. Bang! The water prison barrier is broken. The tailed beast bomb hit the shore and exploded violently. A large number of trees died and disappeared, and terrible shock waves spread, causing the lake to tremble. Fire style, dragon fire technique. A huge fire dragon bursts out, roaring towards 3 Tails. The heat wave is rolling. A lot of water evaporates from the lake. Bang! 3 Tails waved its tail and easily scattered the fire dragon. But fire style, fused with the power of the sun, still burned, making it look painful. Little bastard, don't waste chakra. Ninjutsu of this level can only do limited damage to 3 tails. Terumi Mei reminded, I know that to deal with such a behemoth, a more powerful ninjutsu is necessary. Sasuke nodded but continued to use fire style, lava style, monster melting technique. Terumi Mei saw this and also launched an attack. Thick acid spurted out of her mouth and landed on 3 tails. Zetsu. The terrifying corrosiveness of lava style caused the hard carapace on 3 tails to begin to melt, and they continued to roar. Boom. 3 tails kept attacking them. Every blow made the lake tremble, full of power. But Sasuke and the others are very skilled and can always dodge. No, if this continues, we will be hit sooner or later. Ching was breathing heavily, with a worried look on his face. Click. At this time, the sky gradually became gloomy and a large number of dark clouds gathered. In the clouds, thunder and lightning flashed and roared. Well, the time has come. The corners of Sasuke's mouth quirked up. When the huge tail slapped again, he jumped back. Sister miming, help me. Sasuke looked at the sky, thunder and lightning gathering in his hands. This is. Terumi Mei vaguely understood. A giant water dragon holds Sasuke up and soars into the sky. Ching, let's get out of the way. Terumi Mei quickly retreated. Sasuke's Sharingan reflects countless thunder trails. He formed a seal with his hands and held a ball of dazzling thunder and lightning in his left hand. At this moment, the thunder in the sky seemed to become orderly under the guidance of Sasuke. With a wave of his hand, the thunder seemed to turn into a mythical beast, roaring and falling from the sky. Take the move, lightning style, Kirin. Boom. Under Sasuke's guidance, the thunder gathered. Like thunder, it hit 3 tails hard. The terrifying thunder power exploded and turned into a ball of dazzling white light. Zetsu. The thunder and lightning dissipated. The originally huge-tailed beast disappeared. Only Yagura, covered in darkness and surrounded by thunder and lightning, was left floating quietly on the water. Mizukage-sama. Ching ran over anxiously. Not far away, several Anbu rushed over quickly. Terumi Mei, don't worry, he's not dead yet. Sasuke spoke. I control the intensity of lightning. The tailed beast has rough skin and thick flesh. This blow only makes him incapacitated. Without further delay, act quickly. Terumi Mei nodded and quickly pulled Yagura up. Ching pointed his finger, and Yagura's eyes widened numbly. Sasuke's double Magatama twirled. Sharingan illusion. Waning moon. Click. There seemed to be some kind of shattering sound in Yagura's mind. His eyes slowly returned to clarity. Terumi Mei, Ching, this is. Suddenly, he held his head in pain. All kinds of memories from the past came flooding back. How could it be possible? I actually restarted Blood Mist. Yagura couldn't believe it. Great, Yagura-sama's illusion has been released. Terumi Mei and others looked happy. Suddenly, blood flowed from the corner of Yagura's mouth, and his whole body became depressed. The situation is not right. Send him to treatment quickly. Sasuke frowned. Several Anbu immediately stepped forward and rushed towards Kurigakure with Yagura on their backs. Sasuke and others also left together. What's going on? The lightning-style ninjutsu just now is so powerful. Could it be that Master Yagura? Ao frowned and glanced at Sasuke. The lightning-style move just now really scared him. He never expected that the Konoha boy in front of him was so powerful. It's probably mental damage. After all, he has been immersed in genjutsu for so long, plus the ninjas he has killed over the years. Terumi Mei said in a low voice. HMPH, that lightning style caused quite a lot of damage. Ao glared at Sasuke. I wonder if Yagura-sama can survive this time. Well, no matter what, he's not fit to be a Mizukage anymore. He sighed. Damn, I fooled Kurigakure for so long. Ching slammed the table fiercely, thinking of the companions who died tragically over the years, and the manipulated Mizukage. He couldn't hold back the anger in his chest. Don't let us find out, otherwise we will make him pay the price. Okay, now the main task is to rebuild Kurigakure. As for revenge, we'll talk about it later when we have the opportunity. Sasuke, how are you? Do you have any guesses about the identity of the person behind the scenes? Terumi Mei asked with a frown. I don't know, but if you can control tailed beasts with Sharingan, you must be from the Uchiha tribe. Sasuke said deliberately. He can't reveal Obito's identity directly yet. After all, on the surface, he is just an ordinary boy. It is impossible to know what happened more than 10 years ago. Are you from the Uchiha tribe? Terumi Mei was lost in thought. Suddenly, a mist shinobi ninja came over. Sir Terumi Mei, the elders have called you over to discuss important matters. Little brother, then I will pay compensation first. Terumi Mei smiled at Sasuke and left. Elder meeting room. At this moment, several elders including Yuanshi gathered here. Seeing Terumi Mei and Qing coming over, Master Yuan slowly spoke. Alas, Yagura's current situation is not good. He has suffered too much mental damage. It is estimated that he will only be here for a few days. Terumi Mei was silent. Unexpectedly, this battle will result in Yagura's death. However, when she thought about Kurigakure's future, she slowly breathed a sigh of relief. Fair enough. Terumi Mei, after discussion with our Council of Elders, we have decided to appoint you as the 5th Mizukage. Suddenly, Master Yuan's voice sounded. Terumi Mei was startled. Why, don't you want to? Several elders looked at her. No, I do for Kurigakure. Terumi Mei's voice is low but full of determination. Very good. Several elders nodded with satisfaction. Beside, Chinya smiled. Kurigakure has suffered too much loss over the years. Almost all of the 7 ninja swordsmen died. Among the remaining ninjas, Terumi Mei is the best candidate for Mizukage in terms of strength, background, and intelligence. She serves as Mizukage. Qing was relieved. By the way, remember not to tell anyone about Yagura. That little guy from Konoha. Master Yuan, I can guarantee that he will not spread the word. Terumi Mei said hurriedly. Well, that's very good. Soon, night falls. Sasuke moved into a spacious and luxurious building under the arrangement of Mist Shinobi. This is where Kurigakure arranges distinguished guests. Well, this trip to the country of waves was a good harvest. Sasuke smiled. Not only did he absorb Haku's ice release, but also a large amount of Three Tails chakra. When others aren't looking, the broken tail of Three Tails was taken away and absorbed by Sasuke. When Sasuke walked to the bed, he found a figure lying under the quilt. Sasuke raised the corner of his mouth, lifted the quilt and got in. The fragrance in the bed is fragrant. Little rascal, I'm here to fulfill my promise. Terumi Mei whispered. I knew that sister was indeed not a person who broke her promise. Sasuke hugged her gently, his hands soft and soft. By the way, those elders just asked you to come over. Inherit the position of Mizukage. Oh, so you are the 5th Mizukage now? Sasuke said in surprise. How is it? Sister is awesome. Little rascal, do you want to taste Mizukage? Suddenly, Terumi Mei breathed softly into Sasuke's ear. Okay. Sasuke smiled evilly. Mizukage is amazing. I'll make you Mizukage. I'll make you Mizukage. Little rascal, please be gentle. Suddenly, the house was filled with spring color. After one night, both of them grew up. The next morning, Sasuke woke up from his sleep. He found that Terumi Mei had left. He stretched out his hand and grabbed it, as if he was missing the feeling last night. HMPH, just Mizukage, nothing more. Last night, Sasuke revived Uchiha's reputation. Terumi Mei, as a Mizukage, was killed by him and left her armor behind, begging for mercy again and again. Sasuke grinned. Outside Kurigakure, on a steep mountain cliff. Sasuke and Terumi Mei sat on the edge of the cliff, looking at the village below. Hey, little rascal, are you leaving so soon? Terumi Mei's tone was full of resentment. Don't worry, there will be plenty of opportunities to meet in the future. Besides, didn't you leave early today? Sasuke pouted. Hey, please, I am Mizukage now. If someone in the village finds out that I secretly spend the night at your place, then where is my authority? It will be much more troublesome to manage the village in the future. Terumi Mei rolled her eyes at him. She then stood up and opened her hands to face the sun. This time, thanks to you, Kurigakure can escape from its dark past. From now on, Blood Mist will be history, and I will definitely manage the village well. Terumi Mei has her hands on her hips and looks heroic. Sasuke smiled slightly. Oh, by the way, this is for you. Sasuke handed over a shuriken with a jutsu engraved on it. What, a parting gift. You, the bad guy, won't forget me when you get to Konoha. Terumi Mei said suspiciously. Didn't I tell you earlier that if you want to revive Uchiha, I can't do it alone? Sasuke pouted. You should have heard of Konoha's yellow flash. Namikaze Minato. Could it be? Terumi Mei's eyes lit up. Flying Thunder God technique. Well, the shuriken has my chakra mark on it. After I learn the Flying Thunder God technique, it will be easy to see you. You have to keep it. Terumi Mei nodded immediately and put the shuriken away carefully. However, I heard that the Flying Thunder God technique is a time and space ninjutsu, and it seems that talent in this area is highly valued. What, you don't have confidence in your man? No. Terumi Mei shook her head, thinking of the talent and strength Sasuke showed yesterday. I felt a little more at peace. By the way, be careful. The guy hiding behind the scenes will probably take action again. Sasuke reminded. Okay, I'm leaving, come on. Sasuke kissed Terumi Mei on the cheek. He waved his hand and then jumped off the cliff. The figure quickly disappeared into the mountains and forests. Terumi Mei faced the rising sun and felt her whole body full of strength. Well, I'll be very busy next time. On the sea, Sasuke walked on the water. With a thought in his mind, the tailed beast chakra in his body surged out. Wrapped in a red chakra coat, his speed immediately soared. Is this Three Tails chakra? Sasuke smiled. This power is indeed much stronger than his current chakra. However, Sasuke is not discouraged. Through the infinite chakra refining method, his chakra will become stronger and stronger. Finally surpass the tailed beast. It took most of the day. Sasuke rushed back to the land of waves from Kurigakure. Arrive at Daraza's house again. Hey, Sasuke, are you going well with developing ninjutsu these days? Kakashi asked while lying on the bed, looking at the make-out paradise. It's okay. By the way, Kakashi, this is yours. Sasuke threw him a thick envelope. Kakashi opened it curiously and looked at Sasuke in surprise. 10 million taels. Where did this come from? I just found a copy of Cardo's inheritance, which can be regarded as compensation for this mission. Sasuke said casually. He didn't want to tell Kakashi about going to Kurigakure. Sasuke, you're lucky, I'll take it. Kakashi kept the money. Although, he has participated in many high-level missions over the years and has a considerable net worth. But 10 million taels is not a small amount. The more he looked at Sasuke, the more he liked him. Where could he find such a good student? By the way, have you recovered from your injuries? If there's nothing serious, then get ready to go back. Well, that's almost it. Let's leave tomorrow. Oh, what a rare leisure time. The next day, Sasuke and others said goodbye to Danas. Embark on the journey back to Konoha. Hey, experiencing battle can really make people grow. Along the way, Kakashi found that Naruto and Sakura were much more stable. He is slowly transforming into a qualified ninja. Sasuke, how did you train to become so strong? Naruto looked curious. He's not an idiot. Through the battle with Zabuza, he realized the difference in strength between him and Sasuke. How do you practice? Unfortunately, my method is not suitable for you. Sasuke shook his head and said, this is the truth. After all, Naruto didn't have his heaven-defying savvy. HMPH, cheapskate. Naruto turned his head away angrily. Naruto, Sasuke is a genius, his training method must be unusual. Just save your energy. Little Sakura also said on the side. Seeing Naruto's unconvinced look, Sasuke decided to remind him a little. Hey, Naruto, you must be aware of the power hidden within you. Hidden power. Naruto touched his belly. Of course he knew that Nine Tails was sealed within him. No matter what method you use, what you have to do is control. Remember, you have to learn to slowly control this power instead of becoming its puppet. When you can fully control the power in your body, maybe you are qualified to be my opponent. Sasuke's words made Naruto think deeply. Yes, Nine Tails is sealed in my body, and I am the master. Next time, let the arrogant fox lend me some strength. After living here for so long, it's time to let it pay some rent. Naruto muttered. Control the tailed beast. Perfect Jinchuriki. Sensei, is this why you made Naruto a Nine Tails Jinchuriki? Kakashi looked at Naruto's back, thoughtfully. The mere power of a tailed beast is flawed. Although they are strong, they do not master any ninjutsu and rely more on instinct to fight. If Jinchuriki could fully control the power of the tailed beast, coupled with all the knowledge and ninjutsu, the power exerted is unparalleled. But Naruto, can he do it? Kakashi frowned. Tailed beasts have been rumored for a long time, but there are only 1 or 2 perfect Jinchuriki. Not to mention, 9 tails, known as the incarnation of hatred. Too difficult. Kakashi vaguely felt that the 3rd Hokage might have a deeper meaning in handing Naruto over to him. Oh, it's really tricky. Kakashi sighed. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, Sakura-chan, hurry up. Naruto rushed forward and waved to them. Coming. A few days later, Konoha Village, Hokage Building. Kakashi opened the door and walked in. So many people. He was surprised to find that in addition to himself, other Konoha Jonin including Asuma, Yuhi Hong and others also came. Sarutobi Hiruzen sat in the main seat. Well, it seems that everyone is here. I have called you here this time to talk about the Chunin selection exam in a few days. Chunin selection test. Everyone present was a little surprised. Konoha has not held a Chunin selection exam for several years. Well, this selection test is extraordinary. It is held jointly with the Hidden Sand Village. This is a matter of Konoha's face and must be taken seriously. Sarutobi Hiruzen held his pipe in his mouth and said slowly. By the way, apart from the previous genin, are there any newcomers this time who are suitable to participate in the selection? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the 3 Kakashi people. Kakashi nodded. Mr. Hokage, all 3 of us in Class 7 can participate. Hokage-sama, the same goes for Class 8. With beautiful blood-red eyes, a bandage on her body, and a slim figure, Xianghong nodded. This kind of thing is indispensable to us, Class 10. Asuma said the same. In the crowd, Iruka had a look of surprise on his face. He did not expect that the 9 new genin who just graduated this year would have to take the selection exam. Please wait a moment, Hokage-sama. Kakashi, everyone, this year's 9 genin are all my students. Although they performed well in the ninja school, it is too early to take the Chunin exam now. I think they should be allowed to accumulate some more experience. Iruka said quickly. Over the years, there have been casualties in the Chunin selection exams. Not to mention, uniting with other ninja villages this time may be even more dangerous. He didn't want to see anyone among the 9 die in this selection. Iruka, maybe they were your students once, but now, they are my subordinates. If you want to be an independent ninja, how can you always live under protection? Don't forget, I became a Chunin 6 years before Naruto and the others. Kakashi said seriously. But, you are a genius, this is different. Iruka still refused to give up. Genius. Kakashi scratched his face. Sasuke immediately comes to mind. If you knew his talent, you would probably be shocked. For Sasuke, this Chunin exam is too easy. He even suspected that among all the people present, there were few who could surely surpass Sasuke in strength. Okay, Iruka, since Kakashi agrees, it's decided. You should each prepare and arrange the details of this Chunin exam. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. Kakashi-sensei asked us to gather, what's going on? On the street, Naruto and the 2 gathered together. It's true Sasuke, how can he be like Kakashi-sensei? Little Sakura couldn't help but say. Is there any other important mission? Naruto looked expectant. Suddenly, Naruto noticed someone touching him behind him. It's Konohamaru again. Naruto shook his head, and sure enough, the next moment, Konohamaru jumped out and shouted that he wanted to duel with him. Konohamaru, let me show you my newly developed ninjutsu. Oh, new ninjutsu. Naruto ni, as expected of you. Konohamaru looked expectant. That's right, keep an eye on it, harem technique. Bang, little Sakura slapped Naruto on the head. Asshole Naruto, don't use your boring ninjutsu in front of children. So scary. Konohamaru looked panicked. The woman with the wide forehead in front of me is so violent. Konohamaru, don't imitate Naruto. Little Sakura clenched her fists and sneered. I know. Konohamaru ran away and bumped into a passerby in his panic. Hey kid, you don't have eyes. Kankuro, who was wearing black clothes and carrying a puppet on his back with exaggerated facial makeup, lifted him up. Hey, you big black pig, put him down quickly. Naruto saw this and rushed over. What a reckless guy. Kankuro sneered and moved his fingers slightly. Naruto's body refused to obey and he immediately fell to the ground. Damn bastard, what did you do? Let go of Konohamaru now, or I won't be able to spare you. Naruto stood up and shouted at him. He is not a ninja from Konoha. Little Sakura noticed the other person's forehead protector and her expression tightened. You are so weak, you Konoha ninjas. I really want to kill you all. Kankuro's eyes showed murderous intent. This guy, Naruto and others were shocked. Hey, Kankuro, don't be impulsive. Tamari appeared carrying a large iron fan and wearing fishnet stockings. She stopped Kankuro. Don't forget the reason why we came to Konoha. Call out. Just then, a stone flew and hit Kankuro's arm. Kankuro felt pain and let go of his hand. Who? Tamari turned her head. At the end of the street, Sasuke threw the pebbles in his hands. I said that the people from Sandgakure are too arrogant when they come to Konoha village. Great, it's Sasuke. Little Sakura breathed a sigh of relief. Huh, what a handsome man. Tamari looked at Sasuke carefully and smiled. Damn it, here comes another annoying bastard. Kankuro stared at Sasuke with an unhappy look on his face. Okay, get out of here. Sasuke said coldly. So handsome. Little Sakura looked on with excitement. Damn Sasuke, this guy stole the show again. Naruto gritted his teeth, looking unwilling. Naruto ni, you are too inferior. Konohamaru on the side couldn't help but said. Kit, get off here. Haha, I hate arrogant people the most, and I will make you pay the price. Kankuro pulled on the bandage and prepared to take action. Hey, are you crazy? Tamari looked nervous. There's no need for me to do anything. Just be careful. Sasuke smiled and pointed to the wall beside him. Gaara stood with her hands behind her hands and looked at him gloomily. Kankuro, what do you want to do? No. Nothing. Gaara, why are you here? Listen to me explain. They were the ones who started to cause trouble. Kankuro waved his hand, breaking into a cold sweat. Shut up and stop being embarrassed here. Gaara gave him a cold look. Then he turned to look at Sasuke. Everyone in Konoha, I'm sorry. Time to go. Gaara took the two of them and prepared to leave. Hey, wait. Little Sakura took a step forward and said, judging from your forehead protector, you are not from the land of fire. You are from Cheyenne village, right? Little girl, so what? Although Sand Hidden Village and Konoha are allies, according to the treaty, ninjas from both sides cannot cross the border at will. What do you want to do in Konoha? I can't let you leave until you make it clear. Little Sakura took out her kunai and looked at the three Gaaras. HMPH, it's so funny. As the initiator, Konoha's own ninjas don't even know. Tamari sneered and took out an ID card. It's the Chunin selection exam, and we were invited. Little girl, go back and ask the other Konoha shinobi. Gaara glanced at her. What? I'm obviously just a brat, but I act like an old-fashioned person. Little Sakura complained secretly in her heart. Then, Gaara looked at Sasuke, showing excitement. By the way, what's your name? I'm very interested in you. What a coincidence, so am I, but shouldn't you state your name first before asking for someone else's name? The corner of Sasuke's mouth raised, but he secretly said in his heart. I'm only interested in you because of your tailed beast. Sandstorm Gaara, Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha. Gaara and the other three showed a hint of surprise. It turns out to be the Sharingan clan. Sasuke, see you during the Chunin exam. Me, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. I like fighting against strong people the most. Naruto shouted excitedly. Not interested in. Gaara said calmly, and he and Tamari left. Hey Konohamaru, do I look weak? Naruto's head was full of black lines. Naruto ni, you are so inferior. Konohamaru said with disdain. Has the Chunin exam started? The corners of Sasuke's mouth raised slightly, the opportunity has come. You three came so early. Soon after, Kakashi arrived belatedly. Oh, by the way, Master Hokage informed me that Konoha is going to hold the Chunin exam. Damn it, Mr. Kakashi, you didn't tell me earlier. That's why I was despised just now. Naruto and Sakura said dissatisfied. Oh, it turns out you know. Kakashi handed over the admission ticket. Wow, great, it's the admission ticket. Oh, Kakashi-sensei, can we participate too? Naruto and Sakura looked happy. Well, Naruto, you guys have to refuel in 2 days. Sasuke, the selection test is in groups of 3. I know, look at them, right? Sasuke looked calm and nodded slightly. Ha ha, Kakashi scratched his head. Soon, news of the Chunin selection exam spread throughout Konoha. In Konoha village, many genin are ready to take action. A training ground in the forest. Hey, Lee, you heard about the Chunin exam. Tenten flicked the kunai casually. Of course, we must not miss such a grand event. Rock Lee looked excited. Neji, I will not lose to you this time. Okay, don't get excited, I understand. Neji on the side nodded slightly. Chunin exam. This is the perfect stage for him to show his strength. Neji looked up to the sky with anticipation in his heart. Chunin exam. On the other side, Shikamaru and others also received the news. Asuma-sensei, isn't it too early? Choji was worried. Oh, it won't be too troublesome, right? By the way, will anyone else participate? Shikamaru asked with a frown. Well, you will all participate at the same time this time, Shikamaru, don't be so demotivated, come on. Asuma encouraged. So, little Sakura will also participate. And Sasuke. Shikamaru, Choji, you must participate this time. Do you hear me? You must not lose to that guy Sakura. Ino slammed the table and shouted loudly. It's really getting troublesome. Shikamaru looked at the energetic Ino and complained silently. Shino, Hinata, Sasuke stole the show in the last graduation exam, we must not lose to him this time. Right, Akamaru. Woof woof, Ya said excitedly after hearing the news. But, Kiba, Sasuke is so powerful, Hinata whispered, looking unsure. Forget it, Kiba, my bugs told me that there is a big gap in strength between you and Sasuke. Shino also said silently, hey, you two, why do you always like to increase others' prestige? I don't care, I must become a Chunin this time. Ya said angrily. Not far away, Sunset Hong covered her mouth and smiled. As night falls, Sasuke sits on the rooftop. He bathed in the moonlight and practiced meditation. If I remember correctly, this Chunin exam was a conspiracy planned by Orochimaru. The era of the third Hokage is coming to an end. However, destroying Konoha is not that simple. Sasuke secretly said, this time, the first goal is to collect Gaara's one-tail chakra. And Orochimaru's cursed power. I really want to see, after gathering all the tailed beast chakra, with my understanding. Sasuke's plan began to take shape. 3 days flew by in the blink of an eye. Soon the day came for the Chunin selection exam. Yoshi, I must become a Chunin this time. Naruto was very motivated and quickly rushed to the agreed place. Sasuke, it's so rare that you arrived on time this time. Naruto said with a curious look on his face. Humph, this is just one of my shadow clone. Sasuke said calmly, my true body has gone to the ninja school. What, so that's what it is. Naruto sighed, I'll just say. Sasuke's heart moved and he decided to give Naruto some advice. Hey, Naruto, didn't you know? Shadow clone technique is very practical. Whether it's for practicing, delivering messages, or searching for targets, etc., it's all very useful. For example, with 10 shadow clone, the training speed can be increased by 10 times. Naruto was startled. Damn it, why didn't I think of that? That's right, if you practice with shadow clone, the experience will be transferred to the main body. Naruto was excited. If he performs multiple shadow clone trainings, wouldn't he be able to surpass Sasuke soon? Marvelous. Sasuke saw through his little thoughts at a glance. It's a pity that not only do I have heaven-defying understanding, I also practice even harder. Naruto was destined to be unable to catch up. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.